Hey friends, hope you're all doing well. We're doing okay too, just really tired since we've been working non-stop. We wanted to answer a question many of you ask: how does our publishing process work? Most of our audiobooks are first posted on Patreon as paid content. They stay behind a paywall for a few months. After that, they become free to access on Patreon forever. Then, a few weeks later, we upload them to other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, X. Lately, our community hasn't been growing much, and we could really use your help. Please share our site in your Facebook groups, Discord servers, Reddit threads, Twitter, X, or with any friends who might be interested. Every little bit helps and we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for being with us and supporting what we do. Chapter 1, Charlotte Joey, Year 1470 of the Sea Circle Calendar. This is an era where everything has yet to begin. The Rocks pirates have not yet claimed dominance over the New World. The future Pirate King has only just set sail. The future marine hero has just joined the Navy. This is an era about to be filled with storms and legends. Madam, please slow down, the young master has only just been born. Two young maids chased after a tall woman, almost as large as a giant. Joey, hee hee hee. Joey. Mommy's precious little Joey. La la la. The beautiful young woman with pink hair held a baby in her arms, her face filled with tenderness and joy. Charlotte Linlin. At only 16 years old, she has already made a name for herself on the sea as one of the most powerful pirates of this era. She set sail at age 5 and, by the age of 16, had amassed a bounty of 500 million baileys. In a time before bounty inflation, when hundreds of millions became normal, especially in New World. A 500 million bailey bounty at just 16 years old would be equal to over 2 billion bailey bounty in the future. Swoosh. Standing by the window, Linlin leaped from her luxurious castle and called out, "Zeus! Mommy!" A fluffy white cloud expanded into a thundercloud beneath her feet. Linlin sat cross-legged on it, looking tenderly at the baby in her arms. A pirate, infamous for burning, pillaging, and plundering, rarely shows such gentleness. But this was normal for the young and kind Linlin. Joey. My son, Joey. Tell me, do you think Mommy can make her dream of a united world come true? Mommy wants all races, all people, to live together peacefully and happily. Holding the baby, Linlin kept talking as if a floodgate had opened. In truth, this is Linlin's true nature. She is a kind girl with extremely pure heart. Sadly, she was abandoned by her parents at a young age, lost her companions, guided onto the path of piracy by Strayusen, and eventually joined the Rocks pirates. Honestly, with this kind of life, if a normal person could still stay gentle and kind, they'd be nothing short of a saint or just stupid. No one was born evil. Joey, looking with dead fish eyes, stayed silent. As a transmigrator and a reborn soul, he ended up as a wisp of a soul. And what happened then? Linlin somehow captured him, capturing his soul. He doesn't know what technique Linlin used 10 months ago, but she somehow used his soul and her own bloodline, and managed to get pregnant. And now, 10 months later, he's been born. As for who his father is? Joey thinks his case should probably be labeled as a test tube baby. It's close enough. He didn't even know that with just a soul, Linlin could make a son. Was this even legit? Linlin kept rambling on, while Joey couldn't help but grumble, "Mom, give it up. It's hopeless. With someone like Strayusen guiding you, can you really be a good person?" Joey was stunned. Linlin was stunned. The two of them stared at each other, wide-eyed, in silence. Ah! Before Joey could speak again, Linlin screamed in excitement and hugged him tightly, bouncing on Zeus. "That's my boy. Just born and already talking." Hee hee hee. Laughing, Linlin suddenly froze, standing on Zeus in shock, then continued laughing. Joey lifted his dead fish eyes, saying, "Prometheus, Napoleon, how long has Mom been like this?" "Young Master Joey. Mom has always been this way," Prometheus and Napoleon answered. Sigh. With a helpless sigh, Joey didn't know what to say. Having such a strange mom seems it will be his pain in this life. Of course, there's no denying it. Linlin carried him for 10 months and gave birth to him, so denying her would be despicable. And he didn't have that choice anyway. Right. At that moment, Linlin asked, "Joey, what did you mean by what you said earlier?" Feeling Linlin's hug getting tighter, Joey felt his little face starting to twist. Fortunately, as Linlin's son by blood, well, like mother, like son. A dragon gives birth to a dragon. A phoenix gives birth to a phoenix. The son of a rat will dig holes. Being Linlin's biological child, he's truly inherited her physical traits. Other kids, like Kazuki Oden, might throw their nannies at a few months old, catch rabbits at 2, and smash bears at 4. Joey feels he's probably as strong, if not stronger. "Mom, you're hurting me." Unable to bear it, Joey cried out. While his body is sturdy, even he can't handle a hug from someone as monstrous as his mom. Ah. Linlin started fumbling around, kneeling and carefully placing Joey on her lap. Joey then sighed, Mom, think about it. Under Strayuzen's influence, you've become a pirate. You're a pirate. How could you possibly build a united world? Even if you rule, it would just be forced rule. Joey was well aware of his mother's past. Abandoned by her parents, her companions lost, taught by Strayuzen, join the Rocks Pirates. Come on. With that kind of tragic experience, the only thing missing is being abandoned by a lover. Although she'll establish Totland in the future, it will only be under violent rule. If Linlin never faces trouble, Totland would crumble instantly. While Linlin let out a cute whimper. Joey, are you saying Strayuzen isn't trustworthy? Mom, someone like Strayuzen. How could he be trustworthy? He is a pirate. Joey then began explaining about Strayuzen to Linlin. Luckily, Joey is Linlin's firstborn, and holds a special place in her heart. Otherwise, anyone else daring to speak like this would be instantly slapped by Linlin. After all, Strayuzen's teachings were what made her strong and are deeply meaningful to her. Then Linlin tilted her head adorably, listening to Joey, completely confused and unsure what to do. Finally, she suddenly declared proudly as she felt she found the solution, Joey, Mommy has decided. The head of the Charlotte family will be you, from now on, you manage everything. Joey was stunned. Mom? I just got born, and you're making me the family head? From firstborn son who is only few hours old, straight to family head? Ding. Charlotte Joey has been detected as bound to the Charlotte family. Multiverse family system activated, Chapter 2, Multiverse family system. Linlin is so smart. Joey glanced at his mom, who was still giggling to herself, pleased with her clever idea. He decided it was time to examine this multiverse family system a bit more closely. Sigh, at least I got the cheat that all similar brothers have. Let's check its system. What functions do you have? Joey asked internally. Joey felt quite calm about it. After all, he was already both a transmigrator and a reborn soul. Plus, his soul had actually been captured and somehow nurtured into this new body, almost like he was an artificial creation. Honestly, Joey wondered, is there any other transmigrator out there with such a bizarre experience? Multiverse family system. This system selects appropriate family heads across the dimensions of the multiverse. This system binds to chosen family heads in all worlds. The host is just one among many. The system includes many systems in it, like chat system, achievement system, store system, and the traversal system, currently locked. For other functions, please explore on your own. As the cold voice faded away, Joey understood immediately. Isn't this just like those multiverse system novels he used to read? Only, whereas others end up with a system that has the traversal feature, so they have access to the whole multiverse. Joey started looking into the system. The chat system wasn't too important. After a quick glance, he lost interest. It was just a mix of people having discussions. There were natives, transmigrators, and reincarnators. It was a mess. And even more surprisingly, there were people from fantasy worlds, mythical worlds, magic worlds, anime worlds, and movie worlds. Joey's expression turned serious as he muttered, this system opens up at a completely different starting level. Activating the traversal system could be troublesome. Never mind worlds with fantasy, myth, and magic. Just a single Saiyan family could be catastrophic. Those guys can obliterate entire planets with a flick of their fingers. But here? Even his overpowered mom could only manage to wipe out an island at best. That's nowhere near the same level. Show family member list. Charlotte Joey, position, family head, strength, Black Iron level 5. Huh? Joey paused, thinking, Black Iron level 5? What kind of level is that? After all, he'd never heard of such rankings before. But soon enough, Joey found the information he needed in the system. Ranks are, Black Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, and Crystal. Each level has 9 sub-levels, with level 1 as the lowest and level 9 as the highest. From Joey's research, an ordinary adult is around Black Iron level 5. Wow! Joey clicked his tongue in amazement. No surprise, being born from mom's bloodline, already Black Iron level 5 right after birth, standing at the peak of ordinary humans. Though he was amazed, Joey's expression grew more serious. If he was born at Black Iron level 5, then what about those even stronger? Could they be born at silver or gold levels? Although the conditions to unlock the traversal system remain unknown, being prepared is crucial. Otherwise, who knows when others might invade. Joey continued studying the strength classifications. Black Iron represents the human level. Bronze represents the island level, capable of destroying an island at minimum. Silver represents the nation-destroying level, able to wipe out a country. Gold represents the planetary level, a major turning point. As for platinum, diamond, and crystal, Joey hadn't researched them yet. Higher levels can wait. After reviewing the rankings, Joey said, "Show Mom's profile." Charlotte Linlin, role, mother of the Charlotte family. Strength, bronze level 9 potential, silver level 9 abilities, Paramsha type soul fruit. Weaknesses, seawater, sea stone, weapons, Napoleon, Prometheus, Zeus. Description, as the sole member of the Charlotte family, her potential is remarkable. However, there are numerous issues, such as the presence of a nun soul, Carmel, within her, which needs to be removed. Devil fruit weaknesses also need to be addressed. Joey looked at Linlin's profile and clicked his tongue. No doubt, Mom's power is indeed at the bronze level, and she's at level 9, almost reaching her full potential, with a natural aptitude all the way up to silver level 9. Strength and potential are two different things. Just because you have potential doesn't mean you'll develop it to that extent. Silver and gold levels are worlds apart. Gold signifies breaking free from planetary limitations to become a cosmic force. Meanwhile, silver level 9 can bring destruction on a global scale, though it remains bound to the planet's life force. Destroy the planet, and you'd die as well. But gold signifies a rise in life force. Joey suspected that Linlin, Kaido, Shanks, and others likely had potential at silver level 9. Yet, having potential doesn't guarantee reaching that level. The two aren't equivalent. But Joey focused on the description section, noting that Linlin's body contained the soul of a nun. In his past life, Joey had suspected that Linlin's erratic nature was due not just to Strayuzen's influence and a series of traumatic events, but also because of the lingering presence of the nun soul. Now, it was confirmed. System, how can I remove the nun's soul and the devil fruit weaknesses from Mom? Cost, 200 achievement points to remove the two problems. Family head currently has 100 achievement points. Insufficient points, huh? Joey was taken aback and asked, how did I earn these points? Activating the family head role has granted 100 achievement points, I see. Joey thought for a moment, then said, removing the nun soul from Mom, that kind of hazard can't be left unchecked. This has to be solved first. Spend 100 achievement points to remove the nun's soul from Charlotte Linlin. Confirm. Confirm. Removing. Chapter 3, Unreliable. Mom. He a sinister, raspy, and cruel laugh echoed. Inside Linlin's body, a strand of pitch black soul emerged. It shimmered with an eerie hue, speaking viciously, with this gradual control, in the future, I shall become the empress of this world. I'll control the whole world. But the next moment, the dark soul was suddenly pierced by a beam of light. As the holy light swept through, Linlin's soul was completely purified. Linlin, who had been giggling foolishly, paused in confusion. She glanced around, looked at herself, and felt like something was different. She couldn't quite put her finger on it. But, as usual for Linlin, if she couldn't figure it out, she simply stopped thinking about it. Joey. Mama's Joey. Hearing Linlin's call, Joey replied helplessly, Mom, what is it? Linlin cutely pursed her lips and asked, Joey, do you think I should just take all the races for myself, making them obey me? I want them to live happily with each other. I have to use force, right? Hearing this, Joey couldn't help but feel his mom was unreliable. He silently shook his head and sighed, Mom, forcing things never works. If you snatch people by force, they won't willingly become your subjects. You can't only use force. Boo Linlin whimpered, resting her chin on her hands, pouting in dissatisfaction. What could Joey do? Seeing how unreliable his mother was, he honestly didn't know what to say. If it hadn't been for the influence of the nun and Strayuzen, Linlin's personality might actually have been pretty decent. Taking Kaido as her little brother and giving him the Azure Dragon Fruit, such a rare mythical zone devil fruit, showed her generous nature. Joey couldn't help but think of certain novels where mythical zone fruits appear everywhere. To him, those stories were utterly ridiculous. How rare are mythical zones, really? First of all, Logia fruits are hard to come by. Ancient zones are already rare treasures, and as for mythical zones, they're like the jewels of the sea. Even possessing a single Logia is like a dream come true. And to just give one away? This speaks volumes about Linlin's personality. Of course, Joey wasn't about to let that happen. If a devil fruit like that were given to the right person, it could develop into a combat force of unparalleled power. Take Katakuri, for instance. That family man who's both the dad and the mom of the household is already burdened enough. Even though the Mochi Mochi fruit is also an incredibly versatile and high-potential devil fruit in its own right. But if Katakuri got a more powerful devil fruit, then no one could imagine how great he will come. Joey's primary focus now was to dissuade his unreliable mother from acting recklessly. Ah. Right. Linlin suddenly interrupted Joey's train of thought, exclaiming excitedly, "Joey, do you think it's a good idea for me to have kids from every race? That way, I'll have enough children, and they all represent all the races. Then I can't truly create Totland." "Mom, your idea sounds fine on the surface, but the problem is, if you do that, won't the children vary in strength and talent? Some might even turn out to be completely useless. So, Mom, think about how I was born. Don't pick random men. Instead, extract the purest essence from each race's soul, like how I was created. Using only souls to give the traits of a race is enough. That way, your children can inherit your potential. At least most of it." Joey hurriedly tried to steer his mom away from her nonsensical ideas. And truthfully, putting everything else aside, the most important thing was to avoid getting a bunch of stepfathers for himself. He had absolutely no interest in that. Moreover, since he was born through artificial means, why couldn't others follow the same method? Linlin wasn't stupid, just a little naive. She nodded thoughtfully. "Joey, it was indeed the right choice to make you the head of the family. Yes, yes. With the abilities of various races and my own potential, we'll undoubtedly create the strongest Charlotte family and the perfect Totland. Mom, as long as you're happy." Joey nodded helplessly, gradually feeling sleepy. "Mom, I'm tired." Soon after, Joey drifted off to sleep. After all, he was just born. Even with his adult-level physique and strong spiritual power, rest was still necessary. "Joey." Linlin gently held Joey, her expression filled with warmth. She wasn't truly foolish, just a bit overly trusting. After all, a child abandoned from birth learns to rely on others. Even though relying on her own son felt a bit odd, neither Linlin nor Joey minded. Who would dare say anything, anyway? He giggling once again, Linlin, accompanied by Jesus, left. After a nice, long sleep, Joey groggily opened his eyes. "Young master. You're awake." Two adorable little maids quickly approached. Joey glanced around in confusion. "Where's my mom?" "Young master. Madam has gone out to be a pirate." The maid on the left was the first to speak. The maid on the right added, "Madam left instructions that we should follow your orders in everything. And she said she'd take care of Strayusen herself." Joey was completely speechless. Sure enough, not even a little carelessness was allowed. He had only been born a day ago. In just one day, his mom had already gone off to become a pirate? Even if he was the family head, this was just too much. The thought of being the family head made Joey's lips twitch. So, everything was left to him? While she went off to have fun? For the first time, Joey truly realized how unreliable his mom could be. If not for the family bond system, which ensured that every family member had 100% loyalty and devotion to the head of the family, Joey would have quit on the spot. Let someone else deal with this mess. The Charlotte family was a massive pitfall. Now Joey finally understood the pain Katakuri felt, being both a dad and a mom to everyone. Chapter 4, 100 Years. There is still hope. Joey muttered to himself. Even though my mom isn't the most reliable, Katakuri, at least in the future, is dependable. And then after Katakuri, there's... Joey's mumblings came to an abrupt halt as he froze in place. He was utterly speechless. The entire Charlotte family is a bunch of lunatics. Except for Katakuri, there is what? Cracker? Retired early. Smoothie? Useless throughout. Then there's the rest of them, Prospero, Daifuku, Oven, Compote, Amand. Sigh. Joey took a deep breath, muttering to himself, "It's fine. It's fine. They're all my siblings. If I handle them properly in the future, it won't be a problem. Not a big issue at all. If I train them well, everything will be alright." "Young master? What are you saying?" The maid to his left spoke up. "Nothing." Lying on the bed, Joey asked, "Did Mom leave anything behind?" The maid on his right responded, "Madam left behind 500 million Baileys and 10 devil fruits, saying they were for you to manage." 500 million Baileys. 10 devil fruits. Even though it was only his second day since birth, Joey, looking like a miniature adult, rubbed his chin, considering the situation. System: does everyone start their family systems at the same time? Clan leader. Through time adjustment within the system, all family leaders activate their systems at the same time. Hearing this answer, Joey let out a sigh of relief. Overall, even though the starting points differ, as long as everyone starts at the same time, there's still a chance. Next up is how I plan my time going forward. Rubbing his tiny chin, Joey began pondering over other matters while continuing to study the system. First of all, achievement points can only be earned by completing achievements. As for the trading mall, it's a place solely for the family head to perform transactions. Young master is so cute. Right. Like a little adult. The two maids were utterly smitten with Joey's adorableness. Truthfully, Joey had no choice but to endure this. With these tiny arms and legs, and a family with good genes, nothing to show for itself, what else could he do? After spending some time understanding the system. After 6 months, Joey began engaging in simple training. Forget about all that nonsense about being too young and possibly hurting himself. Do I even need to explain my physical attributes? Absolutely not. However, despite all Joey's hard work over the next 6 months, raising himself to Black Iron level 6. Ding. A family member has reached silver level. Reward, 100 achievement points. Ding. A family member has reached silver level. Power extraction in progress. Congratulations, clan leader. You have acquired all the abilities of silver level 1. Feeling the explosive surge in power coursing through his body, Joey silently opened his system panel. Charlotte Joey, identity, clan leader, strength, silver level 1. Joey couldn't help but grumble, so? Are you telling me all my hard training was meaningless? The clan leader does not need to train. Whenever a family member reaches silver level, their power is automatically added to the clan leader's strength. So, if I have 100 silver level 1 family members, my power would equal the combined total of the 100 silver level 1s? Joey clicked his tongue in disbelief, asking. Correct, the system replied plainly. Without hesitation, Joey tossed his training equipment aside, firmly declaring, to hell with training. If I can get stronger by lying down, why waste my time training? Immediately, Joey began pondering over the true potential of his system. So this is the proper way to unlock the family system. Train the family. Let the family members grow. That's the key. The clan leader's strength will naturally increase along with theirs. I see now. After a few moments of contemplation, Joey nodded in understanding. Similarly, over the past 6 months, Joey had gained a thorough understanding of the family system. Everyone, without exception, was starting from scratch. Sure, they were family heads. But they were all struggling in their own ways. The fantasy world family? Destitute. The mythological world family? Full of kids. The cultivation world family? On the verge of starvation. In summary, nobody's situation was great. In fact, Joey's was relatively decent. Warning, transmigration system will activate in 100 years. Ding. Charlotte family member reaches silver level. Reward, a strand of the divine child root bone fragment. Hearing the notifications, Joey's face twisted. Damn it. Did I just unlock the transmigration system? Joey's expression turned grim. 100 years? What the hell am I supposed to do in 100 years? Even if those other family heads are struggling now, their world settings are on a whole different level. Mythological worlds and cultivation worlds. All they need is a decent cultivation manual, and as long as they aren't completely incompetent, they'll hit gold level 1 without much issue. Of course. These worlds also vary in rank. Even in mythological and fantasy worlds, there's a distinction between high-tier and low-tier levels. Low-tier worlds are nothing special, but high-tier ones? That's a different story. Still, no matter what, reaching silver rank 9 shouldn't be an issue for them. Damn it. Joey shook his head in exasperation. As for the chat room that had probably erupted into chaos, he couldn't care less. For now, he had to focus on his own plans. Divine Child Root Bone Fragment? Joey suddenly perked up, asking, System, what exactly is the Divine Child Root Bone? The Divine Child Root Bone is the lowest grade of Divine Bones. Divine Bones represent the pinnacle of aptitude, and even a fragment of the Divine Child Root Bone can significantly enhance a family member's potential. I see. Joey instantly felt more optimistic. With resources like this, 100 years might not spell certain doom after all. Chapter 5, Charlotte Linlin. Charlotte Linlin, Identity, Mother of the Charlotte Family. Strength, Silver Level 1 Potential, Silver Level 9 Abilities, Paramsha Type Soul Fruit. Weaknesses, Fear of Seawater and Sea Stone. Weapons, Napoleon, Prometheus, Zeus. Introduction. As the sole member of the Charlotte family, Linlin possesses exceptional talent. The soul of the nun inside her has been removed, allowing her to return to her true self. However, the inherent weaknesses of her devil fruit still remain. Looking over his mother's profile, Joey was very pleased. Joey smiled and said, overall, Mom's strength qualifies her as one of the powerhouses of the seas. Her safety is assured. In this world, the power levels are defined as follows. Black Iron level, represents the peak of human strength. Bronze level, surpasses human limits. Silver level, entirely beyond human capabilities and imagination. Silver level 1 roughly equates to the strength of a vice admiral in this world. The gap between levels, especially within silver and above, is enormous. To put it into perspective, silver level 1, comparable to a vice admiral. Silver level 3, on par with an admiral. Silver level 6, represents the pinnacle of this world's power. Though there are only 9 minor levels within any rank, the difference between them is terrifying. Transitioning from silver to gold level is an even greater leap, rendering any further explanation unnecessary. Gold level isn't considered immortal anymore. After analyzing the differences in strength, Joey commanded, "System, integrate the divine child root bone into mom's body." Buzz, a streak of light vanished in an instant. Now, Charlotte Linland's updated profile reads: Identity, mother of the Charlotte family. Strength, silver level 1 potential, gold level 1 abilities, Paramsha type soul fruit. Weaknesses, fear of seawater and sea stone. Weapons, Napoleon, Prometheus, Zeus. Joey nodded in satisfaction. From here on, his mother could grow stronger steadily. His next priority? Raising his unborn siblings. With Linland's potential upgraded, Joey finally relaxed a little. The difference between silver level 9 and gold level 1 may seem like just one step, but it's as vast as the distance between heaven and earth, just as Linland and Kaido's future talents or Roger and Edward's couldn't be gained with hard work. Now, as long as Linland grows naturally, she is destined to reach Pirate King level strength easily. However, Joey's role is to help her fully unleash her potential, ensuring she becomes as powerful as possible in the shortest time. This was crucial because, regardless of what the transmigration system might bring in 100 years, dying in this world would render everything meaningless. Therefore, patience and safety come first. Slowly becoming stronger was the key. Joey tested his strength, punching massive craters into the ground one after another. Thankfully, he was at the mountain's edge, or his family castle would have been in ruins. He muttered to himself, even though I'm at silver level 1, I can't fully utilize my strength yet. My combat experience, techniques, and control are all lacking. He shook his head, acknowledging his limitations. Still, Joey wasn't the type to train obsessively. Why bother, when he discovered that his family's growth directly translated to his own strength? Hard work? Forget it. He was done with that. After testing his power, Joey shifted his focus to something else. At just 6 months old, Joey sat down, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. Next, let's take a closer look at the shop system. Opening the shop, he scanned the familiar interface. Every visit left him both amazed and overwhelmed. The shop was full of all sorts of junk, but there were also countless precious treasures. Divine Child Root Bone Fragment? The moment he saw it, Joey tensed up, stunned. Who could sell something this valuable? After all, just one fragment had raised his mother's potential to gold level. He couldn't help thinking of what will happen when consuming a complete Divine Child Root Bone. It maybe at least elevate someone to diamond level potential. Joey always suspected that even the crystal level wasn't the pinnacle of power, but the levels beyond were beyond his current reach, so he chose not to dwell on them. Angel Clan Leader. Reading the seller's name, Joey mused, if I'm not mistaken, this person must be the leader of the Angel Clan from the Western mythological world, possessing angelic bloodline. As expected. Joey shook his head helplessly. Competing with beings who start at such a high level is truly exhausting. He continued exploring the shop. Frankly, for his family to be the first to break into silver level was already an unimaginable feat. Joey hadn't anticipated it either. It was mainly due to his unique circumstances as a transmigrator. Unlike others who started from scratch, Joey had his mother's support. This advantage allowed him to break into silver level within just 6 months. Unbeknownst to him, several others had already followed suit and reached silver level after him. Joey remained unaware, though even if he knew, it would only make him more vigilant and cautious. Joey was never one to relax. At that moment, rubbing his chin, he carefully studied the items in the shop. Ghost Clan Servant? Suddenly, Joey's eyes lit up at a particular listing. This seemed like a treasure worth further investigation. Chapter 6, Ghost Tribe Slave. That's right. It's a member of the Ghost Tribe from the legendary Night Parade of 100 Demons. Ghost Tribe Slave, strength, decent, potential, not outstanding. However, what Joey valued most was the Ghost Tribe's unique ability to grow stronger as they fought, coupled with their immense physical strength. By extracting the pure soul of a Ghost Tribe member, Joey could use it to help create more siblings. Soon enough, Joey initiated contact with the seller. Charlotte Clan Leader, I'd like to purchase 1 Ghost Tribe Slave. Ghost Tribe Leader, I accept item trades. Charlotte Clan Leader, I'll trade a Paramsha Devil Fruit. If you're a transmigrator, you should know what that is, or you can just check the system. Ghost Tribe Leader, let me inspect the goods. Charlotte Clan Leader, sure. Joey casually tossed 9 devil fruits into the transaction. After all, they were just low-tier devil fruits. Except for the lick fruit. The other 9 weren't valuable or particularly noteworthy. Joey had no interest in them at all. The Parenchal fruit stood out, in Joey's opinion, as a rather fascinating one with potential. Devil fruits were crucial resources Joey hoarded carefully. Based on system scans, devil fruits contained fragments of universal laws. With upgrades from the system, these fragments could even become complete laws. Though the specifics were unclear, Joey had a hunch that these laws might be tied to power levels beyond the crystal tier. Ghost Tribe Leader, 4 devil fruits. In exchange, I'll provide a slave with excellent potential, bronze level 5, and include a copy of Body Refinement Jutsu, Joey murmured. Body Refinement Jutsu? Looking over the details, Joey quickly understood. This training manual allowed practitioners to enhance their physical strength, blood vitality, muscles, and even internal organs. Though it only reached silver level 9, it was a remarkably well-rounded method for total body enhancement. Charlotte Clan Leader, Deal, Ghost Tribe Leader, transaction complete. With a flash of light, 4 devil fruits vanished, replaced by a bound and unconscious Ghost Tribe slave and a scroll containing the manual. After signing a master-slave contract, Joey evaluated the slave's potential. Bronze level 5. That's comparable to an average rear admiral. Given the Ghost Tribe's unique characteristics, they could push their power to bronze level 6 during battle, rivaling elite rear admirals. Acceptable. The slave was nothing more than cannon fodder to Joey. What he truly valued was the pure soul he could extract to help create new family members. With that sorted, Joey shifted his attention to the Body Refinement Jutsu. Ding. Family Leader has discovered a training manual. Would you like to begin practicing it and activate the auto mode? Huh? Joey was surprised. The system allows automatic training of manuals? Correct. All family members will gain access to the manual and will use it passively, depending on available time and resources. This is like auto farming in a game. Joey smirked at the thought. Without hesitation, he ordered, begin auto mode immediately. Ding. Family Training Manual Body Refinement Jutsu activated. In an instant, Joey felt his body undergo subtle yet noticeable improvements. The enhancement wasn't dramatic yet, but the foundation was solid. System notification, congratulations. The family training system has been unlocked. Reward, 100 achievement points, 200. With 200 achievement points now, Joey decided not to spend them just yet. These points were universal currency, useful for enhancing resources, manuals, or almost anything else. Though the precise method of earning achievement points remained a mystery, Joey suspected that even if others figured it out, they wouldn't reveal it. After all, when the world's dimensional travel unlocked in a century, allies and enemies would be hard to distinguish. Opening the family training menu, Joey reviewed the progress, manual, Body Refinement Jutsu, current level, 1, family members training, all. Joey nodded in satisfaction. Even the first level brings noticeable improvement. When fully mastered, the Body Refinement Jutsu could let someone at silver level 9 challenge a gold level 1 opponent. Such growth was immensely promising. High-quality techniques and valuable resources like devil fruits were strategic assets capable of elevating the family's power. Not bad. This trade was highly worthwhile. Joey carried the Ghost Tribe slave back to the castle, pleased with the results. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, a year and a half passed. By the year 1472 of the Sea Circle calendar, Joey was now 2 years old. However, his physical growth made him look like a 5 or 6-year-old doll-like child. Naturally, his silver-tier physique accelerated his development. In this time, Big Mom, Linlin, had advanced her strength to silver level 2, firmly establishing herself as Admiral tier. Joey himself had also reached silver level 2, with the Body Refinement Jutsu now upgraded to its 2nd level. His physical strength had grown astonishingly, outpacing expectations. Joey. Mommy's precious Joey. Before Joey could react, Linlin swept him up in a bone-crushing hug. After 2 years of absence, she had finally returned, brimming with joy. Mom. You've been gone for 2 years. What were you even doing? Joey asked, his tone exasperated as he rolled his eyes. Linlin chuckled sheepishly. Mommy joined the Rocks Pirates. I figured I'd tag along and learn a few things. Roxy's epic is really strong, you know. Fair enough. Joey sighed. Though his mother might seem airheaded, she was far from foolish. Her naive, open personality had shifted somewhat under Joey's guidance, making her more calculated and perceptive. Oh, by the way. Linlin beamed. Joey, I gave you a baby brother. His name's Prospero. Carrying Joey over to a maid holding a baby, Linlin proudly introduced the newborn. Quiet and well-behaved, the infant curiously stared at Joey. Chapter 7, Charlotte Prospero, Identity, second son of the Charlotte family, strength, iron level 6, potential, Silver Level 3, Profile. As the second son of the Charlotte family, Prospero possesses commendable potential. With proper training, he has the potential to become a pillar of the family. Looking at his younger brother, Joey's eyes reflected Prospero's stats. Overall, Joey nodded in satisfaction and thought to himself, not bad at all. With Silver Rank 3 potential, if he is properly nurtured, reaching Silver Rank 1 in strength won't be an issue. Joey was quite pleased. After all, given the level of this world, Linlin achieving gold rank in potential was already incredibly rare. But with the system, none of this would be a problem. The body refinement jutsu alone was a game changer. In the future, Joey could acquire more training manuals, potential enhancing treasures, and other resources. The family was bound to grow stronger and stronger. Originally, Prospero being born with Black Iron Rank 3 strength would have been considered quite good. But now, thanks to the enhancement of the second layer body refinement jutsu, he was born with Black Iron Rank 6 strength. Suddenly, Joey thought of something and asked the system in his mind, can the level of the body refinement jutsu be upgraded with achievement points? By spending 1000 achievement points, the body refinement jutsu can be enhanced to allow the user to reach gold rank 9 if he has the potential, as expected. Being held in Linlin's arms, Joey knowingly nodded. Strength and potential. These two things were tricky. Linlin had gold rank 1 potential. But if left to her own way, she wouldn't reach gold rank 1 in her entire lifetime. Even achieving silver rank 7 would be a struggle. Why? Because she lacked a complete path to follow. The body refinement jutsu, however, provided exactly that, a clear, complete path, allowing her to progress straight to silver rank 9. From here on, Linlin's journey would be smooth sailing with no obstacles in sight. As for what to do after reaching silver rank 9? Joey was confident he could help his mom go even further. Joey. Linlin's cheerful voice broke his thoughts as she held him closer. She brought Joey face to face with Prospero. Joey blinked, then asked curiously, Mom, what's up with Prospero's tongue? A newborn with half of his long tongue sticking out, it looked strange no matter how you saw it. Linlin explained, I encountered someone strong with a long tongue, likely a half-blood from a demi-human race. After I killed him and purified his soul, Prospero was born. His potential turned out quite good. Joey agreed, Prospero's talent is indeed excellent. Mom, you need to be more careful when you're out there. Oh, and if you come across any good devil fruits, don't give them away to outsiders. Make sure to bring them home, your children are all here. Linlin laughed like a child. Don't worry, Joey. Mommy knows what to do. If only you really did. Joey couldn't help silently complaining. Even now, Joey couldn't understand why, in the original story, after the God Valley War, Linlin gave the fish fruit, mythical zone type, Azure Dragon form, a top-tier mythical zone, to Kaido. In any world, anything related to the 4 sacred beasts, whether abilities or creatures, was always top-tier. Shaking off his frustration, Joey refocused. After venting his frustration, Joey thought to himself, no matter what, the Azure Dragon fruit is staying in the family. We're not letting outsiders benefit from it. Plus, there are other rare devil fruits we should collect. Let me think. In Wano, the Yamato no Orochi fruit and the painting fruit should still be unclaimed. These are worth looking into. Joey immediately grew excited. These were top-tier devil fruits. The former was a mythical zone, while the latter, when fully developed, was practically a divine artifact akin to the legendary magic brush. The idea of such fruits not being part of his family made Joey uncomfortable. Mom. Joey called out, eager now. When are you leaving this time? Linlin tapped her lips thoughtfully. After the new year. While the Rock's family doesn't meddle too much, being away for too long isn't good for my position as a leader with Linlin's strength. Originally at bronze rank 9, she already surpassed top-level vice admirals. Reaching silver rank 1 made her equivalent to a quasi-admiral, and now at silver rank 2, she was solidly at admiral level. With that kind of strength, her position as an officer was naturally secure. Joey nodded. Mom, after the new year, I'll go with you to Wano. Wano? Linlin tilted her head in confusion. Joey, why Wano? Joey explained, there are 2 top-tier devil fruits in Wano. We're going to retrieve them. Oh. Linlin nodded, indicating she understood. Master. The Ghost Clan servant approached respectfully, bowing deeply. Mom, extract part of his soul. Joey directed, pointing at the servant. All right. Linlin stepped forward and, with a single motion, extracted a third of the Ghost Clan servant's soul. After purifying it into a pure ghostly essence, she set it aside for future use. There was no rush to use it just yet. The servant let out a muffled groan and collapsed unconscious. Though losing a third of his soul caused significant damage, his unique physiology as a Ghost Clan member meant he could recover over time. Joey, unfazed, remarked, 3 days until New Year's. This snowstorm is quite heavy. It is. Linlin responded cheerfully, hugging Joey close. Behind them, a maid carried Prospero. Thus, the Charlotte family began to take shape. Charlotte Joey Charlotte Linlin Charlotte Prospero Chapter 8, New Year New Year's Day always brings a sense of joy. After all, it's a day when the whole family gathers together. Cheers. In the luxurious castle of the Charlotte family, the atmosphere was lively. Though the only ones attending the feast were Joey and Linlin, the grand banquet still exuded splendor. Meanwhile, the few days old Prospero had already learned to sit upright. He was happily devouring a large cream cake in front of him. To be honest, members of the Charlotte family, including Joey himself, had no resistance to sweets. Joey, too, was an avid lover of desserts. Big brother. Mom. I want more cake. Prospero exclaimed, having wolfed down the cake and looking unhappy when it was gone. Joey instructed one of the maids, prepare more food for Prospero. Then, turning to his younger brother, he smiled warmly. Prospero, you're one of the future pillars of this family. You must grow strong. Don't worry, big brother. Prospero nodded firmly, his childlike determination shining through. I'll protect our family. Joey chuckled, satisfied. After all, not everyone was like him, a transmigrator with mature thoughts and memories. Prospero, despite his exceptional talents, was still just a child with an immature mind. That said, learning to speak within 3 days was remarkable. Ahahal Inlan laughed cheerfully. Our family is growing bigger and bigger, Joey. The Charlotte family will become stronger. We'll definitely build Totland. Yay. Joey silently watched his adorable mother. She had once again fallen into one of her whimsical daydreams, her hands cupping her face in an almost childlike manner. To be honest, his mother had so many quirks. Seeing a cute child could send her into a strange state. Having an issue with a nun's photo could trigger another. In a way, Linlin felt more human, with all her flaws and idiosyncrasies. She wasn't perfect, far from it. Well, it's fine as it is. Joey muttered to himself. She's just perfect like this. Joey's gaze shifted to the massive round table in front of him, spanning 100 meters in diameter. Despite its grand size, there were only 3 people seated, himself, his mother, and his brother. In the future, though, the table would be surrounded by family members. Clenching his tiny fists, Joey declared inwardly, I will make our family thrive, not just in this world but across the multiverse. We will become the strongest family of all. Just as he steeled his resolve, Linlin swept him up in her arms, holding him tightly. With a carefree smile, she lifted her glass and announced, it's New Year's. Joey, let's drink. Joey, come drink with me. All right, Mom. Joey's face twisted into an expression of helplessness. Seriously? He was only 2 years old, and his mother wanted him to drink? Though, to be fair, being a 2-year-old with Admiral-level strength was rare in itself. The lively New Year's celebration eventually came to an end. Joey made up his mind, as the family grew, New Year's Day would become an official family gathering day. There will be a lot of members of his family here in the future. A month passed after the New Year. Big brother. Mom. Prospero stood at the entrance of the castle, now resembling a child of about 2 years old. He looked unhappy. Are you leaving? Joey patted his younger brother on the head and said, Prospero, a man must learn to grow. I'll be back soon. Turning to one of the Ghost Clan servants, Joey commanded, protect my brother. Understood. The ghost servant replied respectfully. With a strength level of Bronze 5, he was more than capable. Prospero nodded resolutely. Big brother, I'll grow stronger and help you manage the family. Joey smiled. Good. Keep it up. With that, Joey and Linlin set off. The two of them boarded a small pirate ship and sailed toward the horizon. After some time, Joey asked, Mom, do you know where Wano country is? Linlin tilted her head and replied innocently, Joey, don't you know? Joey fell into a moment of silence. Why did I even bother trusting her? This was a naive and clumsy woman. Expecting her to know? She'd get lost 100% of the time. All right. Joey rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Here's the plan. Let's capture a relatively strong pirate crew. Even though Wano country's location is remote, most people should still know where it is. Good idea. My son is so smart. Linlin agreed enthusiastically. After all, for her, any problem that could be solved with violence wasn't really a problem. What followed was self-explanatory. Hueco, a pirate crew with a total bounty of over 400 million Baileys, was now trembling in fear, prostrating themselves on the deck. The sea itself had been split apart by Linlin's attack with Napoleon, leaving them all swallowing nervously. The captain of the Wild Wolf Pirates, Lonely Wolf, right? Joey asked as he descended gracefully onto their ship. A zone user with the dog fruit, model Wild Wolf? That's me. Lonely Wolf stammered, his voice trembling. Sir. What can I do for you? Joey smiled, satisfied. Take us to Wano country's seas. Hand over all your treasures, and I'll let you live. Okay. Lonely Wolf nodded fervently. To him, survival was all that mattered. Money could always be earned back. And while Wano country's seas were dangerous, its location was no secret for people like him. Chapter 9, Wano Country, a unique and isolated region. It is entirely surrounded by waterfalls and cliffs, resembling a towering mountain in the middle of the ocean. To enter Wano, one must ascend these waterfalls, leading to an inland sea. The region comprises 2 islands, the main island and Onigashima. The main island is divided into 6 areas: Kure, Kibi, Udon, Ringo, Hikamei, and the flower capital. Within Wano, samurai warriors act as protectors, creating a formidable defense from within. Externally, the natural terrain and violent storms make entering or leaving a near impossible feat. However, for people like Linlin, entering from the outside was hardly a challenge. Joey glanced at Lone Wolf, who knelt trembling on the ground before him. So, this is all your treasure? Joey asked. Yes. Lone Wolf nodded frantically. Sir, we're just a small pirate crew. This 400 million Baileys is everything we have. As for devil fruits, we don't have any, we could never obtain something like that. Alright. Get lost. Joey said dismissively, waving his hand. Thank you, sir. The Wild Wolf pirates quickly fled, looking as though they had narrowly escaped death. Linlin hid the ship before lifting Joey into her arms and leaping onto Zeus. Although Zeus couldn't sustain long-distance flights, crossing a waterfall in one go was no issue. Soon, they had successfully landed in Wano country. Mom. Joey instructed, create some small homies to gather information. Also, keep an eye out for the Kurizumi clan. Linlin nodded. No problem. With a casual wave, she created thousands of surveillance homies, shaped like tiny flies. These homies dispersed, spreading out across Wano. Wano might be vast, but Linlin's abilities ensured the land could be thoroughly scouted within 10 days or so. As Linlin and Joey sat on Zeus, Linlin asked curiously, Joey, are there any interesting devil fruits in Wano? Joey chuckled. Of course. The Hebi no Mi, Mythical Zone Model, Yamata no Orochi, and the Paramsha class Feud no Mi, the painting fruit, are both exceptional devil fruits. Wow! Linlin exclaimed with a childlike grin. So those are some amazing devil fruits. They are. Joey agreed. The painting fruit would be perfect for Prospero. His creativity, craftsmanship, and artistic abilities are outstanding. With a satisfied smile, Joey added inwardly, with the painting fruit, Prospero could fully realize his potential. He's already capable of creating candy-based structures, elevators, and art just by using the lick fruit. While the lick fruit was decent, it paled in comparison to the possibilities offered by the painting fruit, which was a truly top-tier devil fruit when developed properly. As for the Yamata no Orochi fruit, it didn't even require explanation. Its mythical zone lineage alone made it remarkable. The fruit granted the Kurizumi Orochi resilience beyond compare, surviving decapitation multiple times was proof enough of its power. Linlin tilted her head in confusion. Prospero has that much talent? How come I never noticed? Joey's face froze. Talent? Calling it mere talent was an understatement. It was pure, unparalleled genius. Through Joey's efforts, Prospero had been taught by countless exceptional instructors. Even at his young age, he was already growing into an extraordinary individual. Every teacher marveled at his creative prowess in art and engineering. And yet, Linlin, as his mother, hadn't noticed a thing. I have a lot to do. Joey sighed inwardly. His mother was utterly unreliable. Thinking about Kitakuri, Joey couldn't help but sympathize. The struggles of being both father and mother to his siblings made sense now. With Linlin's abilities, none of her children should have been weak. If she had been remotely diligent in raising them, even her less talented offspring would easily reach Vice Admiral level strength. Yet Linlin had always been a hands-off parent, leaving her children to fend for themselves. Joey shook his head and muttered, Mom, you don't have to worry about any of this. Just focus on becoming stronger. Leave the family and Totland to me, I'll make your dreams come true. Linlin beamed, nodding enthusiastically. Alright, I'll leave it to you. Joey felt tricked somehow. Looking at his mother's innocent, childlike smile, he could only sigh. Well, if he had been deceived, so be it. What could he do about it anyway? Over the next 10 days, Linlin's surveillance homies gathered a wealth of information about Wano's current state. They also located the Kurizumi clan members, including the young Orochi, who was still on the run. Meanwhile, Kurizumi Higurashi and Kurizumi Semimaru had already arrived in Wano. Listening to the reports from the fly homies, Joey mused, "This is promising news. Those two elders have already entered the scene." Based on the timeline, Kazuki Oden should be about 8 years old right now. As Joey pondered the unfolding situation, Linlin happily munched on sweets. After all, for the Charlotte family, leaving home without desserts was unthinkable. Chapter 10, Grabbing Swords. 8 years old. So, Kazuki Oden should be just 8 years old now. But still. Joey mulled over the current state of Wano country. After a brief moment of contemplation, he gave up. Wano, as it stood, had no cornerstone of support. Kazuki Sukiyaki might be a kind and benevolent ruler, but he was far from an effective one. While his kindness was admirable, his abilities as a leader were insufficient. The state of Wano was dire. Aside from the flower capital, the other 5 regions were in shambles. Among them, only Ringo had positive income, barely enough for its people to survive. As for the rest, whether the inhabitants could even manage to live was a pressing concern. Joey shifted his focus to a different matter. This visit to Wano might be his only one for a long time. Who knew when he'd come here again? Thus, ensuring ample gains from this trip was non-negotiable. Prometheus, observing Joey in deep thought, remarked, "Thank goodness the young master is so capable." Zeus chimed in, "Indeed. Otherwise, who knows when Mama's dream of Totland would be realized." The two homies then turned their gaze toward Linlin, who was joyfully indulging in sweets. They sighed inwardly. When it came to sheer strength, Linlin was undoubtedly top tier. But in other areas? Letting her focus on eating was probably for the best. Clap. Joey clapped his hands together, standing up with determination. "Alright, next on the agenda is collecting Wano's famous swords. Since we're here, not grabbing a batch of renowned swords would be downright foolish. Let's set sail." "Yes." Prometheus and Zeus immediately followed Joey's lead, while Linlin, still savoring her treats, quickly joined in. Though, to no one's surprise, Linlin remained blissfully unaware of their plans. Thanks to the reconnaissance from the fly-like homies, the situation in Wano was clear. The only formidable force left was the 5,000 elite samurai led by Ashimaru Shimatsuki and Ringo. Beyond that, no significant threats remained. Linlin, Joey, and their entourage had little to fear. Clang. 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 In the flower capital of Wano, a city known for its grandeur and tightly guarded secrets, the Kazuki clan's treasures lay hidden amidst the opulence and power. Joey and Linlin moved like shadows through the bustling streets, their haki concealing their presence from the guards. The moonlight illuminated their path as they approached the shogun's residence, a palace adorned with the symbols of Wano's rich history. "This is the place," Joey whispered, his porcelain-like face calm and focused. Linlin, her massive frame somehow moving silently, leaned in. "Joey, my little Joey, why here of all places?" she asked, her tone laced with curiosity. Joey smirked. "The 3 legendary swords are stored here, Nidai Kaitetsu, Sandai Kaitetsu, and Aim no Habakyori. It'd be a waste to leave Wano without them." Linlin's eyes gleamed with excitement. "Oh, swords, you say?" Using haki, they evaded the patrols and slipped into the inner sanctum of the palace. Every step was precise, their movements untraceable even to the most vigilant guards. Also Linlin spread chaos outside so they can sneak in with no problem. Inside a heavily fortified chamber adorned with intricate carvings and ancient relics, Joey spotted what they were after, 3 swords resting on a ceremonial rack. Each blade exuded a menacing aura, their craftsmanship unmistakably legendary. "There they are," Joey said, his voice barely above a whisper. As they approached, Linlin gripped Napoleon tightly, her eyes scanning the room. "No traps?" she asked. "None that matter," Joey replied confidently. His haki-enhanced senses had already mapped out the area. With practiced efficiency, Joey and Linlin dismantled the protective barriers surrounding the swords. The Nidai Kaitetsu, Sandai Kaitetsu, and Aim no Haba Hidden Mist Village were soon in their hands. Joey examined each blade with an approving nod. "These will do nicely," he said, tying the swords together and handing them to Zeus, who had quietly floated into the room. "Take these back to the ship." As Zeus departed, Linlin chuckled. "Joey, my sweet Joey, you're so clever. Now can we leave? This place is dreadfully dull, and there are no sweets." Joey sighed. "Fine. Let's get out of here before the lack of dessert becomes a crisis." Together, they vanished into the night, leaving no trace of their intrusion. The flower capital would awaken to the shocking realization that 3 of Wano's most treasured swords had disappeared without a sound after dealing with the current chaos. Satisfied with his gains, Joey nodded. "Not bad. 3 down. Now, let's collect the rest of Wano's famous swords. Over the next 10 days, Joey and Linlin combed through Wano country. Their efforts yielded a bounty of legendary weapons: Aim no Haba Hidden Mist Village, Inma, and Nidai Kaitetsu, from the great grade 21 swords. Over 30 grand blades, including Sandai Kaitetsu. The ranks were from best to worst: 12 supreme grade blades Saijo Oazumano, 21 great grade blades Oazumano. 50 skillful grade blades. Ryao grade blades Wazumano, finally unranked blades, then trash. Grand blades were just below the Ryao grade, and only 50 swords earned that distinction. Those outside this elite circle were simply categorized as grand blades, even if their quality approached that of Ryao. Unless, of course, a grand blade could prove itself by cutting through an existing Ryao sword, thereby earning the title. Zeus ferried the collected blades back to their ship, and Joey nodded in approval. The haul is impressive. Wano lives up to its reputation as a treasure trove of legendary swords. Honestly, coming here without taking these would have been a waste. Joey was thoroughly pleased. These swords would undoubtedly find their place in the hands of his younger siblings who aspired to master the way of the sword. Linlin, on the other hand, pouted as she clung to Joey. Joey. My little Joey. When are we leaving? Wano is so boring, and we're out of sweets. Joey's expression froze. Tonight, we'll deal with those two old geezers, and then we're leaving immediately. No sweets. That's unacceptable. Sweets were the lifeblood of the Charlotte family. No water or food was fine, but no sweets. Hell no. Joey silently pondered whether to groom a confectionery master within the family or outright kidnap one. I think there's a clan leader in the family system ranked S for confectionery skills. He was from a famous name I know, Nakiori. I wonder if he will sell his family members. Maybe I should talk to him, or her, about it later. I just have someone in mind. Joey smirked, already planning his next steps. Chapter 11, Kurizumi Clan Tap. Tap. Hee, the sound of footsteps grew closer and closer. Our guest has arrived. A rare visitor indeed. The raspy voice of Kurizumi Higurashi echoed as Joey and Linlin stepped into view. Charlotte Linlin. Bounty, 689 million Baileys. Well, I didn't expect this. To think a pirate as infamous as you would come to Wano country. Higurashi's sharp gaze lingered on Linlin, her attention entirely focused on the imposing woman. As for Joey? To be honest, Joey's appearance was far too deceptive. No matter how she looked at him. He was just a child, someone she didn't need to worry about. Joey, seated calmly atop Zeus, stopped 10 meters away from Higurashi. With a calm and composed voice, he said, Kurizumi Higurashi, a remnant of the Kurizumi clan living in exile overseas. The Kurizumi family was overthrown by the Kazuki clan 8 years ago, and now you've finally returned. Oh? Hearing the unyielding confidence in Joey's voice, which carried a natural air of authority, Higurashi immediately straightened up. Clearly, Joey was the one leading this negotiation. With a respectful smile, Higurashi asked, and who might you be? Charlotte Joey. The patriarch of the Charlotte family. Joey's gaze was sharp and unwavering as he looked at Higurashi. Although, for now, the Charlotte family only had his mother as their strongest pillar of support. Even so, Joey was certain that in no more than 20 years, the Charlotte family would become the most powerful in the world. The era of the great pirates? By then, he would see for himself whether Roger, the so-called Pirate King, could even compare to the might of the Charlotte family. Higurashi chuckled hoarsely. Patriarch of the Charlotte family, what brings such a distinguished figure to someone like me? Still. As her eyes shifted to Joey, Higurashi couldn't help but feel a pang of frustration. Look at him. Then look at Kurizumi Orochi, the one she had been nurturing. There was simply no comparison. Orochi, now over 10 years old, was the epitome of incompetence and disgrace. Joey raised 2 fingers casually and stated, the Hebi no Mi, model, Yamata no Orochi, and the Feud no Mi. I am here to make a deal for these 2 devil fruits. Higurashi's heart sank, but she smiled and asked, and what would I receive in return? Of course. Joey had chosen not to simply seize the fruits by force for 2 reasons. First, the Bari fruit model, barrier human devil fruit, a Paramsha-type devil fruit that allows the user to generate barriers. Sitting beside Higurashi was the elderly Kurizumi Semimaru who ate it. He might not appear threatening, but the defensive power of the Bari fruit model, barrier human devil fruit, was terrifying. Even if Joey and Linlin attacked together, it wouldn't be easy to take him down quickly. And if the fight dragged on, destroying a devil fruit wasn't difficult. Joey replied calmly, I can help you secure the position of Wano's shogun. If you're interested, my mother and I can eliminate Kazuki Sakayaki and anyone who opposes you. No. No need at all. Higurashi snarled with twisted anger. Charlotte Patriarch, I don't care about ruling Wano. I want Wano to suffer. I want them to pay an unending price for what they've done. Joey shrugged nonchalantly. Suit yourself. So, how do you want to proceed with the deal? Higurashi quickly regained her composure. Charlotte Patriarch, I'm willing to trade these 2 devil fruits in exchange for your family's assistance in the future, twice. Twice? Agreed. Joey calculated briefly before nodding in agreement. 2 favors. 2 devil fruits. The trade-off was more than fair. As the patriarch of a rising family, his poise and magnanimity were unquestionable. Higurashi chuckled eerily. Since you've agreed, rest assured, I won't ask for anything absurd, no requests to destroy the world government or wipe out the navy. It was clear, Higurashi, a cunning old fox, understood the rules of negotiation well. To ensure Joey honored his promise, she needed to make reasonable requests, things he could achieve with some effort, but nothing outlandish. Moreover, she knew very well, Linlin, a monster in her own right, was already a top-ranking figure in the Rocks Pirates, a crew filled with monsters. This alone proved how profiting the deal was, especially in the future. If she pushed them too far, her life would end, no matter how strong the Bari fruit model, barrier human devil fruit's defenses were. Clap. Higurashi caught the badge Joey tossed to her. This is the emblem of the Charlotte family. Joey explained. Hold on to it. In the future, when you need help, present it to any member of my family. After the 2 requests are fulfilled, the emblem will be reclaimed. A family emblem. It was a tool integrated into the family system. It allowed long-distance communication, coordinate tracking, and other small functions. A minor feature of the system, but practical nonetheless. Where to find the Charlotte family at that time? Higurashi asked. Humphrey. Joey's tone was full of confidence as he declared, when the time comes, you'll have no trouble finding us. The Charlotte family's name will echo across the seas. Joey's confidence was unshakable. If the Kurizumi family ever needed his help and the Charlotte family wasn't already renowned across the world, then he might as well consider himself a failure. After all, his ultimate goal was to conquer the multiverse. And if he had no choice to do so, in the future it will be either destroyed with your world or conquer other worlds. And for this world, it was merely a stepping stone. Failing to dominate even this would be the ultimate disgrace. But plans always can't keep up. In the future, Joey will choose not to dominate the pirate world and will leave the world government as it was for the greatest benefit. Higurashi chuckled wickedly. Of course, no problem. I will personally retrieve the 2 devil fruits for you right now. Soon after, Higurashi returned with the 2 devil fruits in hand, placing them before Joey. To be honest, Higurashi was gambling, betting on whether Joey would keep his word. And in the future, it'd turn out. She won the gamble. Joey would never stoop to breaking a promise. A true man, once he spoke, his word was as unyielding as iron. It was only natural for him as he needed this level of reputation for the future. Chapter 12, Whitebeard. Finally having departed from Wano country. However, Joey and Linlin stared at each other, wide-eyed, caught in a silent face-off. They realized something very important. Zeus, Prometheus, and Napoleon. The 3 homies were trembling in fear, terrified of getting caught up in the mess. Joey opened his mouth but could only sigh helplessly. Mom. Can't you use your head for once? How are we supposed to get home? Linlin replied matter-of-factly, how would I know? I don't know. Don't know. Joey, you're the head of the family. You decide. I don't know anything. Humphrey. With a cute little huff, Linlin turned away in a childish pout. Joey was at a loss for words. He felt like shouting WTF but wasn't sure if it was the right moment. Usually, it's the parents setting their kids up for failure, but in his case? His mother was outright sabotaging her own son. This trip had been fruitful for both mother and son, famous swords, devil fruits, and rare specialties. They had gained plenty of treasures. But the problem was that they were lost. Completely, hopelessly lost. How are we supposed to fix this? Joey groaned, rubbing his temples. Arg. He let out a frustrated growl, causing the 3 homies to tremble even harder. Joey glared at the 3 homies menacingly. You 3, either figure out where we are, or I'll turn you all into desserts and eat you. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. The homies scurried into action. They knew their young master wasn't joking. If he said he'd eat them, not even crumbs would be left behind. Joey rubbed his temples in frustration, feeling truly at his wits' end. Joey was truly at his wits' end. 2 days had passed since they had left Wano, and while they had cleared the island's waters, they were utterly disoriented. Joey had no sense of geography here. He felt he was a Zorro now. As for Linlin, she was even worse, clueless and carefree. The route from their home to the Rocks Pirates' rendezvous was something Prometheus, who barely remembered it, was the one leading the way for Linlin. But now, even Prometheus was useless, left with no idea where they were. Damn it. Joey gritted his teeth and cursed. From now on, every family member must keep track of their position at all times. Wait. I think our family crest has a feature for that. Suddenly, Joey's thoughts clicked. He pulled out the family crest and started tinkering with it. The family crest wasn't just an ornament, it was a functional tool. Apart from Joey, Linlin, and Perospero, even Kurizumi Higurashi had one. But while Higurashi's was decorative, the crests Joey's immediate family used had additional features like communication and location tracking. Joey quickly activated the crest, and a holographic map appeared in front of him. It resembled a game map, clear and easy to navigate. Mom! I found the route. Joey shouted. Come steer the ship. I'm coming. Linlin hurried over, and the mother-son duo studied the map. Once they locked in their target, they set off immediately. Based on the distance, they estimated it would take 5 days to return home. Not too far, thankfully. Besides, with their sweets stash depleted, their patience was wearing thin. They were desperate to get back for more desserts. Ugh. What do we do now? Wait. What's that? Whitebeard? Prometheus and Zeus sighed in frustration but suddenly noticed something, a pirate ship in the distance. And its captain was someone they recognized. None other than a member of the Rocks Pirates, Edward Newgate, Whitebeard. Young master. Mom. We've spotted Whitebeard. Huh? Joey blinked in surprise. What's Whitebeard doing here? Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr deck stood a young man with golden hair, Edward Newgate. He exuded energy, his youth apparent as he laughed boisterously. Clap. Linlin stood abruptly, her demeanor shifting entirely. Gone was her goofy, adorable attitude. In its place was a sharp, murderous intent. Make no mistake, the Rocks pirates weren't a group to take lightly. They were a cutthroat bunch where only the strong survived. Linlin may act like a doting mother in front of Joey, but when faced with a fellow Rocks crew member, she didn't let her guard down. Linlin. Relax. I don't have any intention of fighting you. After all. Edward smirked, waving a hand casually. The captain strictly forbids clashes between officers. Humphrey. Linlin snorted, but her tension didn't ease. Joey, meanwhile, carefully observed Edward. Using the eye of the family, he analyzed the man before him. Edward Newgate, affiliation, Rocks Pirates, officer, strength, silver tier 2 potential, gold tier 1 ability, Permsha type devil fruit, tremor fruit weapon, supreme grade sword, Morakamagiri summary, a future monster of the seas, armed with a top tier devil fruit, unparalleled potential, and an exceptional weapon. A force to be reckoned with as he grows. Joey clicked his tongue in amazement. No wonder he becomes the pinnacle of the four emperors and earns the title of the world's strongest man. Even at this young age, he's already terrifyingly powerful. Edward studied Joey in turn. Despite the boy's young age, there was a faint but potent aura surrounding him. Even though it flickered intermittently, it was enough to make Edward take notice. For a child of 5 or 6, this was unheard of. Kid. Edward asked directly, who are you? Joey's expression remained calm. Charlotte Joey, head of the Charlotte family. A pleasure to meet you, Whitebeard. Huh? The Charlotte family's leader? Edward's eyes widened in surprise, glancing between Joey and Linlin. Chapter 13, Only Savages Resort to Violence. In truth, as members of the Rocks Pirates, both Edward and Linlin were high-ranking officers. While there was a notable difference in their strength in the past, things had shifted. But now with Joey's help in enhancing Linlin's potential and her training in physical combat techniques, her power had skyrocketed. Without exaggeration, Linlin was now undoubtedly on par with Edward. Both were close figures of the admiral level in strength. What made them even more unique, however, were their ambitions. Among the strongest members of the Rocks Pirates, each harbored their own lofty dreams. Linlin sought to establish her ideal nation, Totland. Edward yearned for a family, something he could call his own. Shiki, on the other hand, aimed to dominate the world. To put it plainly, none of them could be considered normal pirate. Edward, fully aware of Linlin's ambitions, couldn't help but find himself puzzled. Even if Linlin had indeed formed the Charlotte family, shouldn't she, as its founder, be its leader? Why then was the position of family head held by her little son, Charlotte Joey? At this moment, Edward was filled with confusion, his head a swirl of unanswered questions. He. Noticing Edward's perplexity, Joey offered a calm smile and explained, the position of leader should always go to the most capable individual. My mother, while strong, has a personality that's too childlike. She isn't suited to lead a family." His words were direct, spoken with neither hesitation nor embellishment. Joey was calm and composed, his demeanor betraying nothing but confidence. Edward's gaze sharpened. Strength aside, the maturity, poise, and air of authority Joey exuded at such a young age were remarkable. Moreover, there was that unmistakable aura radiating from him, an innate sense of dominance. The conqueror's hockey. Edward locked eyes with Joey, a smile spreading across his face before he burst into laughter. "Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr reverse hockey. Hee hee hee. Linlin, who had been on high alert, immediately dropped her guard and beamed with pride. Of course. Joey is my most beloved son, my absolute favorite. No objections here. If you praised Joey, you were automatically Linlin's friend. That was how she operated, simple and straightforward. The tension between Edward and Linlin eased. Edward then asked, "So, Linlin, where are you headed?" Tilting her head slightly, Linlin replied, "I'm taking Joey home. After that, I'll return to the Rocks Pirates." Edward nodded in understanding. As for the specifics of her plans? Well, he wasn't going to pry. This was the Rocks Pirates, after all, a gathering of ambitious individuals, each with their own schemes. They weren't allies in the true sense, and prying too much could lead to conflict. While some officers might hesitate due to Rock's strict rules, but Linlin? She was a certified lunatic who wouldn't hold back if provoked. Boom. Boom. The sudden roar of cannon fire shattered the momentary calm. Edward sighed in annoyance. Seriously? I thought these fools would just move along, but it seems they've decided to come after me instead. He wasn't unfamiliar with these situations. With a bounty of 800 million, Edward constantly attracted challengers seeking to make a name for themselves. Pirates, after all, were a reckless and ambitious lot. They didn't care about their chances of survival. All they knew was that victory meant fame and fortune, gold, power, and beautiful women. Everything they could ever want. Most importantly, pirates thrived on their reputations. Swish. Linlin gripped Napoleon tightly, her eyes flashing with murderous intent. They dare to provoke me? They deserve to die. Sigh. Joey sighed softly, seated atop Zeus. Mother, calm yourself. Only savages resort to shouting about killing and fighting. Our Charlotte family is destined to build a grand nation, Totland. You're meant to be its queen, or even its supreme ruler. You need to understand the importance of grace and manners. Acting like a barbarian will only invite disdain. He spoke gently, attempting to guide his mother. Joey understood that changing Linlin's ways would take time. It wasn't something that could happen overnight. After all, Joey didn't see himself as a pirate. Regardless of his mother's identity or reputation, he was not, and would never be, a pirate. He was the head of the Charlotte family, the prince of the future Totland. But he would never be the captain of the Big Mom Pirates. That wasn't who he was. As the leader of a family destined to engage with countless worlds, Joey needed more than strength and resources. He needed refinement. He had to carry himself as someone superior, embodying nobility and ambition. Even without activating the family system, Joey was confident he could replace the Celestial Dragons, elevating the Charlotte family to become the new ruling class of the world. And as nobles, they needed to behave accordingly. Not just Linlin, but all his siblings would have to learn and embrace this mindset. All right. Linlin immediately nodded, suppressing her killing intent. Edward fell silent once more. It wasn't just Linlin's sudden compliance that surprised him. It was something else entirely. Edward felt as though Joey's words were directed at him as well. Calling out savages who resorted to violence? Wasn't he one of those people? Moreover, Edward was no fool. He could clearly see that Joey's ambitions weren't limited to piracy or territorial conquest like Rocks or Shiki. No, Joey's aspirations were far grander. Something far beyond the petty dreams of a pirate. Chapter 14, Guidance and Planning Please, my lord. Please spare us. This is everything we have, our entire treasure hoard. Have mercy on us. The pirates, overwhelmed by fear, stammered as they knelt on the ground, trembling. They couldn't find the right words, caught between pleading and despair. In the end, the only thing they could do was shiver in terror before this pink-haired mother and son duo. The mother's strength was monstrous, while the son's cunning was nothing short of demonic. In fact, the pirate captain found himself wishing for death rather than facing Joey again. Unfortunately, few people truly have the courage to embrace death. Joey's expression remained calm as he spoke. Not bad. I'll take this treasure. As for you? From now on, bring 100 million belly to Hikinazu, the Rocks Pirates domain, for the Big Mom every year without fail. That's all I require. Yes. Yes. No problem at all. The pirates nodded so hard their heads bobbed like chickens pecking grain. There was no choice. If they could walk away alive from this encounter, they would flee the new world immediately. He. Joey's smile was gentle, but his words were chilling. Oh, and don't think you can simply disappear. Wherever you go, if you fail to show up in a year's time, you'll regret it deeply. Trust me, death would be the least of your worries. His voice, soft and composed, felt like whispers from the depths of hell. The pirate captain's mind broke under the weight of this fear. I understand, he said in panic. With that, the matter was settled. The treasure was loaded onto their ship, and the mother and son returned triumphantly. Linlin, still curious, asked Joey. Tell me, can you really make someone's life worse than death? Huh? Joey was momentarily taken aback before smirking. Mom, I'm not a god or a devil. Of course, I can't do that. That guy was just scared out of his wits. Besides, with your power, killing him is easy. For now, he'll behave, using your reputation, and by extension, rocks, to keep himself alive and hand over all his treasures every year. Linlin nodded as if enlightened, even though most of it went over her head. Joey continued with a smirk, when the time comes for you to go independent, people like him will no longer be useful. The Charlotte family won't tolerate embarrassing associates. Got it. Linlin nodded cheerfully, unconcerned about the complexities of the situation. After all, anything requiring thought could just be left to Joey. As Joey's ship sailed away, Edward watched silently. After a long pause, he murmured with a heavy expression, "What a terrifying kid. So young, yet his mind is already this sharp." Gorbarura. Edward suddenly laughed. This sea is going to become much more interesting in the future. With that, Edward departed as well. After setting their course, Joey and Linlin returned to their island stronghold within 3 days. For now, the famous Cake Island did not exist. Seriously, did anyone think Cake Island was naturally formed? In reality, Cake Island was something Linlin would later create herself through her own efforts. Back on the island, Joey supervised the unloading of their spoils. Be careful with those treasures. Don't damage anything. Once you're done, each of you will get 10,000 belly as a reward. Yes, sir. Rest assured, young master. The 20 workers, energized by the promise of payment, handled everything with extreme caution. Prospero. Yes, big brother. Hearing Joey call his name, Prospero tilted his head coolly, awaiting instruction. Joey began to guide him. Remember this, any problem that money can solve isn't a real problem. Strength can solve all problems, but money can handle most. Learn to value this. If you can resolve something with wealth, it's a minor issue at best. Understand? Oh. Although Prospero didn't fully grasp the concept, he nodded obediently. Joey wasn't too concerned, Prospero was still young, after all. By the way, how's your studying coming along? Joey asked. A nearby maid answered respectfully, Master Prospero has been excelling. His teachers say he has exceptional talent in management, architecture, painting, and even literature. They believe he's destined to become a great figure in the future. Indeed. Added another maid. Additionally, as per your instructions, we've hired the best trainers for physical conditioning. While he's still young, his unique physique allows him to begin basic training. Joey nodded approvingly. Excellent. He then took out a devil fruit. Prospero, this is the perfect fruit for you. Eat it and continue to study hard. The future of the Charlotte family's glory depends on your strength. Okay. Prospero accepted the fruit eagerly, his excitement clear. Loyalty within the Charlotte family was absolute, but belief was another matter. Joey understood this difference. From a young age, he worked to instill faith in the family, ensuring every member believed in the family's promise of unparalleled glory. With everything settling into place, Joey felt confident about the future. He had found the perfect devil fruit for Prospero, and the groundwork for their development was being laid. Now, it was a matter of time and growth. 98 years remained until the Great Multiverse Family War. By then, Joey vowed, the Charlotte family would stand as the unrivaled power of this world, ready to conquer whatever lay beyond. Chapter 15, Rare Treasures Devil Fruits. In the year 1473 of the sea calendar, Joey had spent more than a year back home. It wasn't that he didn't want to accomplish anything, but there was a significant obstacle, the family system. As the name suggested, the core of the system revolved around nurturing and developing family members. Everything else? Merely secondary. And so, despite his silver tier level 2 strength, Joey understood his limitations. He could barely unleash 50% of an admiral level combatant's power. As for Prospero? What could a 1-year-old brat possibly contribute? The best course was to let him grow at his own pace. Time was the most crucial factor for Joey right now. Joey rubbed his chin thoughtfully. According to my plan, the next 20 years will be the growth phase. After that, I'll spend 30 years controlling the world. The remaining 50 years will be for honing myself further. He paused, eyes gleaming with determination. At the very least, I need to reserve 50 years for solid growth and accumulation. Only then can I emerge victorious in the fierce competition that awaits 98 years from now. What Joey didn't realize was that his calculations were off. The time remaining wasn't 98 years as he had assumed, it was only 48 years. The multiverse was on the brink of monumental changes, and the clock was ticking faster than he expected. Multiversal travel? Joey didn't believe it would simply be a friendly visit. The most likely scenario was a massive battle, one where combatants would fight to the death, tearing each other apart. Master. A maid approached from behind, bowing respectfully. Here is this year's financial summary. Without turning, Joey replied, just give me the highlights. Yes. The maid's tone remained steady as she delivered the report. The Charlotte family currently possesses 30 great swords, 3 great grade blades, 8 stored devil fruits, Yamato no Orochi fruit, Lick fruit, and a total of 1.5 billion belly in treasure. The maid's detailed account painted a clear picture. This wealth, of course, was largely thanks to Big Mom's monstrous strength, which allowed her to dominate wherever she went. Joey waved dismissively. Got it. You're dismissed. The maid bowed again and left. Joey opened the trading system, ready to negotiate with specific individuals across other realms. Charlotte Patriarch, have you made your decision yet? You should already know the value of devil fruits. Each one carries the potential to awaken a growing law. In any world, that's a treasure of the highest caliber. If you're not interested, there are plenty of others willing to trade. His message was directed at the Angel Clan's leader. In Joey's world, the most precious resource was undeniably the devil fruits. Each fruit embodied the essence of a nascent law, rudimentary but extraordinary. Although perfecting these laws would be incredibly challenging, even possessing a starting point was already a monumental advantage. And what Joey sought from the Angel Patriarch was divine bone essence, a resource capable of breaking the barrier between silver and gold tiers. A fragment of divine bone essence could elevate a person from silver tier 1 to gold tier 1. A complete set of divine bone essence, however, could bestow an individual with platinum tier level 9 potential. As for higher levels, Joey had no means of contact yet. Joey chuckled to himself. If the Angel Patriarch refuses, there's always the Demon Patriarch or Elf Patriarch. They can also provide the divine bone essence I need. For Joey, acquiring as much divine bone essence as possible was non-negotiable. As he deliberated, a notification popped up. The Angel Patriarch had responded. Angel Patriarch, 15 devil fruits for half a set of divine bone essence. Half a set equals 15 fragments, for context, 30 fragments equaled 1 complete set of divine bone essence, capable of pushing an individual to platinum tier 9 potential, no matter their starting point. Joey's lips curled into a smirk. He replied immediately, Charlotte Patriarch, impossible. 15 devil fruits for at least 25 fragments. You know very well that the demon, dragon, elf, and giant patriarchs also hold divine bone essence. I'm not limited to trading with you. Far away, in the heavenly realm, a radiant woman with golden hair frowned slightly. She was the Angel Patriarch, a being of unparalleled beauty and majesty. Joey's words hit the mark. Divine bone essence was precious but not irreplaceable for her kind. Devil fruits, on the other hand, held untapped potential that was far more alluring. Her response came quickly, Angel Patriarch, 25 fragments are out of the question. The most I can offer is 20, Charlotte Patriarch, deal. The trade will take place in 1 month, Angel Patriarch, agreed. Pa. Joey leaned back, a triumphant smile on his face. Got it. For most, devil fruits were treasures of immense value. But for Joey, they weren't nearly as rare. Why? The world was filled with devil fruits, and with the power of Charlotte family, they could get a large amount of them in the future. The Charlotte family alone would have over 100 children in his plan, each offered a choice of devil fruits from birth, always 2 options to pick from. Whether consumed or not, this meant their reserves would easily exceed 100 fruits. And this vast arsenal of devil fruits? It was Joey's ace, his greatest resource for accelerating his rise to power. Chapter 16, Charlotte Compote Few. Having wrapped up the recent trade negotiations, Joey let out a deep breath. With 20 strands of divine bone essence secured, he was confident it was more than sufficient for the family's early-stage development. However, he had no intention of using it immediately. Narrowing his eyes, Joey muttered to himself, 30 strands make up a complete divine bone essence. With that, Mom's aptitude can be elevated to platinum level 9. Once she uses the upgraded body refinement jutsu, she could reach gold level 9 in strength. At that point, Mom would become invincible, and every devil fruit in this world would belong to the Charlotte family. His eyes flashed with determination. For now, Joey continued engaging in more trades. Although he only had 8 devil fruits on hand, certain ones like the lick fruit and the Yamata no Orochi fruit were out of the question for trade. These were essential for cultivating the family's strength. He knew better than to sell the only weapons his family possessed while they were still vulnerable. Doing so would be inviting disaster. Half an hour later, Joey was wrapping up another deal. Charlotte Patriarch, clan leaderess chef, you must realize that while a top-tier chef with the potential to become a god of cooking is valuable, the importance of the embryonic form of the law cannot be overstated. Clan leaderess chef, Patriarch Charlotte, I'll consider your proposal seriously, but I'll need some time. I'll give you an answer in a month. Humphrey. Joey's lips curled into a smirk as he murmured, it's already in the bag. There's no way he'll reject this trade. Anyone with half a brain knows the value of the embryonic form of a law. Of course, the potential to become a god of cooking is significant too. A god of cooking, as the name implied, could create culinary wonders capable of driving even the strongest warriors to madness. However, having the potential was one thing, turning that potential into reality was another. 3 major trades have essentially been locked in. Joey thought. In total, I'll need 23 devil fruits. For now, I only have 8. But he wasn't in a rush. The deadline for the last trade is a year away. Speaking of time, the new year is only 2 months away. Joey noted, reflecting on how quickly the year had passed. In the span of a year, he had grown to the size of a 7-year-old child. At this rate, he estimated that by the time he was 4 or 5, he'd resemble a boy of 12 or 13. Trade summary, Angel Clan Leader, 15 devil fruits for 20 strands of divine bone essence, trade in 1 month. Titan Clan Leader, 7 devil fruits for 10 strands of divine bone essence, trade in 1 year. S-Chef Clan Leader, 1 devil fruit for a dessert chef with the potential to become a god of cooking, trade in 1 month. After recording the details, Joey returned to his studies. Though his strength didn't require rigorous training, Joey had never neglected his education, immersing himself in topics ranging from etiquette to advanced subjects. Half a month later, Joey and Prospero were engrossed in their studies. For them, age was never a barrier. Compared to those born with monstrous strength, starting their education this young was considered ordinary. Master Joey. A maid entered, holding a baby in her arms while several large chests were carried in behind her. Joey raised an eyebrow at the scene. Charlotte Compote, identity, eldest daughter of the Charlotte family, strength, iron level 7 potential, silver level 6 description. As the eldest daughter, Compote boasts impressive potential, having inherited her mother's exceptional talents. She is worthy of being nurtured with full effort. Oh. Joey's interest piqued as he studied the baby girl with her dark green hair. Prospero stood up curiously. So, this is my little sister? What did Mom say? Joey asked. The maid respectfully replied, Master Joey, Madam said that the Rocks pirates are currently attacking a nation and won't return this year. However, she has sent back 10 devil fruits she managed to collect. Got it. Joey nodded. Take Compote to rest. Prospero, organize the items Mom sent back. Understood, big brother. Prospero said eagerly, heading off to handle the task. Though still young, the family had started grooming Prospero for responsibilities. Handling simple tasks like inventory management was well within his capabilities. Joey, deep in thought, mused, Compote's talent is far superior to Prospero's, already reaching silver level 6 with iron level 7 strength at birth. After some contemplation, he deduced the reason. The difference likely lies in the pure souls of the males used. It makes sense now. As for himself? Joey considered his situation unique and not comparable to theirs. Later, Prospero returned with the report. Big brother, Mom sent back 10 devil fruits and 3 billion Baileys. Among the devil fruits, the notable ones include the Paramsha hot fruit and the Paramsha cream fruit. Joey nodded. Mom must have used the remaining Baileys to purchase these devil fruits, or it would be 5 billion like always. The Rocks pirates prioritize money over other resources, so this approach makes sense. We've secured 2 high-quality devil fruits, ensure they are well protected. As for the others, store them safely in the treasure vault. Now, let's focus on preparing for the new year. Got it, big brother? Prospero replied enthusiastically. Chapter 17, Akangakubo Momo. The new year had arrived. It was always a time of joy. No studying. No training. For Prospero, the New Year's holiday was a delightfully welcome break. Cheers. Ha ha ha. Cheers. The clinking of glasses echoed as the family celebrated, marking the end of the festive season. After all, the Charlotte family had only 3 young children in its ranks, so time was their most precious commodity. Slowly but surely, the family would grow stronger and take its rightful place in the world. As the celebrations ended, a message arrived. Angel Clan Leader, Charlotte Clan Leader, how are the preparations for the devil fruits coming along? Charlotte Clan Leader, the devil fruits are ready for trade anytime. Angel Clan Leader, excellent. Without delay, the two leaders proceeded with their transaction. A golden shimmer filled the air. 15 devil fruits disappeared from Joey's inventory, replaced by radiant strands of golden light. Joey raised his hand, gathering the shimmering threads. 20 strands of divine bone essence. A treasure of utmost importance. Angel Clan Leader, pleasure doing business. Looking forward to our next trade, Charlotte Clan Leader, the pleasure is mine. Of course, let's keep this partnership going. With the trade concluded, Joey leaned back and began to strategize. He mused to himself, currently, I have the Orochi fruit, the Lick fruit, the Hot fruit, and the Cream fruit. There's also one spare devil fruit. If the S-Chef Clan Leader agrees, I'll trade that one as well. But his focus soon shifted. Rather than the trade, he was more concerned about compote. Prospero had consumed the draw fruit, which was perfectly suited to him. However, finding an ideal fruit for compote was proving trickier. The hot fruit is good, but it doesn't suit her abilities. The Lick and Cream fruits? They're reserved as utility fruits for our family's logistics. He pondered the matter deeply, carefully analyzing his options. The Lick fruit, producing candy, and the Cream fruit, generating cream, both were treasures that perfectly complemented the Charlotte family's obsession with sweets. There was no chance these would ever be traded away. Guess I'll save these for family members with average potential. Joey thought with a sigh. At least they'll ensure we have competent support in the future. With his plans tentatively set, Joey decided to set aside the issue of devil fruits for the time being. As for the Orochi fruit, he already had someone in mind for that. Just as Joey was about to dive into some reading, a notification chimed. S-Chef Clan Leader, Charlotte Clan Leader. I'd like to trade a chef with divine culinary talent, specializing in desserts, for one devil fruit. Oh? A sly smile crept onto Joey's face. He chuckled softly. Finally. I was wondering how long they could resist. Seems like they couldn't hold back after all. Amused, Joey replied promptly. Charlotte Clan Leader, no problem. Let's make the trade right away, S-Chef Clan Leader, agreed. A flash of light illuminated the room. The devil fruit vanished, and in its place stood a petite girl with a frightened expression, clutching an oversized stuffed doll. Why you? Hello. Though clearly terrified and on the verge of tears, the girl composed herself, bowing respectfully to Joey. She understood. Her presence here wasn't an accident. She knew exactly what fate awaited her. Joey nodded approvingly. Ikangakubo Momo. As expected of someone with divine culinary talent. Impressive. You're worthy of joining my family as an affiliate member. Ding. Would you like to make Ikangakubo Momo an affiliate member of the Charlotte family? Yes. The system confirmed her new status as a family affiliate, a position unique to the clan. Unlike servants, whose lives could be disposed of at will, affiliate members were granted some autonomy and respect. Their role was akin to a subordinate faction, like the relationship between Big Mom's pirate crew and the Sun Pirates. However, within the Charlotte family system, the difference between affiliates and servants was often minimal. Joey studied Ikangakubo Momo calmly. From today onward, you'll serve as the head pastry chef for the Charlotte family. I'll arrange for a team to assist you. Your duties will include teaching them and ensuring we have the finest dessert chefs in the family. Yes. Ikangakubo Momo bowed deeply, fully aware of her position and responsibilities. Joey smiled in satisfaction. Good. Have someone escort her to her quarters. I want her to prepare this afternoon's dessert. At once. A maid stepped forward, leading the nervous Momo away. As she left, Joey's grin turned sly. The head pastry chef is secured. I'll need to source more chefs with divine talent from the S-Chef Clan Leader in the future. After all, Momo is just the beginning. His lips curled into a devious smile. This man was far from kind. Ikangakubo Momo, role, Charlotte family head pastry chef strength, black iron level 2 potential, bronze level 1 talent, divine culinary aptitude description. Despite her weak combat ability, Momo's divine culinary potential could elevate her to legendary status if cultivated properly. Glancing briefly at her stats, Joey dismissed them. Her weak strength didn't matter. The most important is the taste of her desserts. Chapter 18, Charlotte going out the sea calendar year 1474. It had been a year since Compote was brought back home. Ha. I feel like dying. Prospero, age 2, and Compote, age 1, were both deeply engrossed in training. 4-year-old Joey already looked like he was 10. Prospero, though only 2, resembled a child of 5 or 6. Compote, At 1 year old, appeared as if she were 3. The two children trained diligently. Prospero focused on basic hand-to-hand combat training, while Compote underwent a specialized regimen. Compote, among all of them, bore the strongest resemblance to Linlin. Because of this, Joey personally designed a training program for her, mimicking the methods used by giants like Linlin herself. Big Brother. Around 3 in the afternoon, the two children put aside their training and ran to Joey's side. The two sat beside him, their faces brimming with innocence and cuteness. Well. Joey gently ruffled their hair and smiled. How was your training today? Prospero responded enthusiastically, Big Brother. We've finished training for today. Can we go out to play this afternoon? Joey chuckled. Of course. After the tea party, you can go play. Prospero beamed with joy. Compote, with her chubby cheeks that made her look like a miniature version of her mother, puffed up her little face. Brother. Why can he go out to play, and I can't? She complained, pouting. Joey ruffled her hair as well. Does my little girl want to go out and play too? Yes. Yes. Compote eagerly nodded. After thinking for a moment, Joey nodded and said, all right, let's all go out together. It'll be good to check on the family businesses while we're at it. Yay. The two children cheered excitedly. Ha ha ha. Joey smiled and shook his head. Since returning from Wano 2 years ago, Joey had been meticulously planning the island's development. Now, through a combination of wealth, strength, and influence, the entire island, from its factories to its officials, was firmly under the Charlotte family's control. Every single person answered to them. While plundering as pirates yielded wealth, it had its limits. Joey was far more interested in the consistent revenue generated through business. Every detail mattered to him. Still, these were minor issues that he didn't dwell on too much. Master Joey, it's time for the tea party. Momo arrived with an array of desserts. Soon after, the 3 siblings sat down together, their faces lit up with delight as they enjoyed their sweets. Truth be told, the Charlotte family could go without money or anything else, but never without desserts. Even Joey wholeheartedly agreed with this sentiment. After finishing their tea, Joey took Prospero and Compote out for a stroll. The 3 siblings wandered through the town, exploring. It's them. Look. It's the monsters from the castle. I heard their mom is a pirate. These freaks deserve to die. As they walked, whispers and insults began to spread around them. The adults in the town, fully aware of the Charlotte family's terrifying reputation, kept their heads down. But the children playing outside didn't know any better. Charlotte Brule, Joey's yet-to-be-born 20th sister, had her face scarred by this group of brats in the original timeline. Linlin, often absent due to her pirate life, had long neglected to protect her children from such harassment. While no one dared to harm Linlin's children outright, bullying them had become commonplace. Linlin from the original story had only ever viewed her children as tools, never truly caring for them. But things were different now. Idiots. Sniff. Sniff. Prospero burned with anger, while Compote, despite having the strength to crush these brats, was still just a child. Her eyes welled with tears as the insults hit her. Joey turned calmly, his gaze landing on the group of children, more than 10 in total. Prospero, consumed by rage, clenched his fists tightly. Joey, however, spoke in a steady voice. Prospero, what do you think we should do in a situation like this? Huh? Prospero, caught off guard, tilted his head in confusion. Despite his anger, he was still a child. In truth, Prospero had already reached the strength of an Iron Rank level 9, and Compote wasn't far behind at Iron Rank level 8. Their abilities naturally grew with age, and Joey had focused on laying a strong foundation for them. With their bloodline and the unique body refinement jutsu, such growth was entirely expected. In this world, the gap between Iron and Bronze rank wasn't enormous, but reaching Bronze marked a significant transformation. Ha ha ha, look! That brat is sticking out his tongue? And that little girl has green hair. The one in the middle has pink hair, how disgusting. The taunts grew more vicious. Smack. Smack. Prospero's fists tightened, trembling with unrestrained fury. But even in his anger, he recalled his older brother's earlier question. After a pause, Prospero gritted his teeth and growled, Big Brother said that when a wild dog barks at you, you make sure it dies like one, without leaving a trace. Joey smiled. Well said, Prospero. So, what are you waiting for? Are you going to let them keep bullying your sister and insulting your family? The Charlotte family's pride allows no such humiliation. I understand. Prospero unstrapped the weapon from his legs and assembled it into a massive paintbrush. Chapter 19, The Family's Monster, Charlotte Getakuri. Painting scroll, Wild Dog Feast. Prospero's hand moved swiftly as he painted. Woof. Woof. One by one, massive wild dogs came to life from his artwork. Each stood about 2 meters tall, with a body length of nearly 4 meters. Upon counting, there were dozens of them. Thud. A colossal drumstick dropped to the ground. Kill them. Prospero's voice was cold and merciless. Leave no one alive. Gr. The pack of wild dogs charged forward at terrifying speed, heading straight for the group of children. Help. Please, someone help. What is this? What are they going to do to us? Their screams of pain and terror filled the air as the children were torn apart like prey. In mere moments, the scene turned eerily silent, leaving only the lingering stench of blood in the air. Gulp. The onlookers swallowed hard, trembling in fear at the sight. Joey smiled in satisfaction. Well done, Prospero. Remember this, no one insults the Charlotte family and gets away with it. Understood? Yes. Both Prospero and Compote nodded firmly. Though they were still children, the gruesome scene before them elicited no reaction. To them, such events were insignificant. Bloodline inheritance truly was an extraordinary thing. At that moment, several men in black suits approached. The leader bowed respectfully. Young master. Joey responded with a calm smile. Wipe out the families of these brats. Burn everything to ash and leave no trace behind. Understood. The black-suited men departed, and Joey turned to address the surrounding crowd. Everyone, I apologize for the fright. To make up for this, all taxes for the year will be waived. Whoa. Thank you, young master. Thank you so much. The crowd erupted into cheers. Although the taxes weren't outrageous, having them waived was a pleasant surprise. Joey turned to the children. Let's continue our walk. After that, it's time to head home. Yes, big brother. Okay. Prospero and Compote followed Joey happily. However, among the crowd, a few observant individuals shivered. Everyone on this island is at the mercy of the Charlotte family. They've seized complete control. What a terrifying child, he's only 4 years old, isn't he? The sharp ones grasped the implications of what they'd witnessed, but ultimately, it didn't matter. The island was already firmly under the Charlotte family's rule. The combination of carrot and stick, the display of power followed by a gesture of kindness, was executed flawlessly by Joey. Though he didn't train physically, his studies in politics, economics, and etiquette had never faltered. He had hired the best teachers from around the world at great expense. After a day of leisure, Joey returned home with Prospero and Compote. As soon as they stepped inside, a familiar figure embraced him tightly. Joey. Joey. Mommy is back. Did you miss me? Linlin exclaimed joyfully. Struggling to lift his head from between her mountainous embrace, Joey managed to reply, Mom. Let me go. You've been gone for 2 years again. What were you doing this time? He. Linlin giggled. Last year, we attacked a major nation. This year, things were quieter, so I came back. Faced with his mother's playful grin, Joey couldn't help but relent. What else could he do but forgive her? Prospero. Compote. Did you miss me? Mommy. The 2 children rushed to Linlin, their faces lighting up with joy. Their affection and respect for her were unmistakable. Joey watched them with a warm smile. Harmony within the family was essential for its growth and strength. Just then, 3 maids approached, each carrying a child. One of them was asleep while standing. He. Joey chuckled at the sight of the unusual child. Charlotte Katakuri, title, 3rd son of the Charlotte family, strength, black iron level 9, potential, silver level 9, summary, a monster of the Charlotte family. Katakuri's talent is extraordinary. With minimal resources, he can grow into one of the family's greatest pillars. Joey's gaze shifted to the other 2 children. Charlotte Daifuku, title, 4th son of the Charlotte family, strength, black iron level 5 potential, silver level 5 summary, a genius of the Charlotte family. With proper nurturing, he will become a formidable force in the family. Charlotte Oven, title, 5th son of the Charlotte family, strength, black iron level 5 potential, silver level 5 summary, another prodigy of the family. Oven is destined to shine with the right guidance. Although Daifuku and Oven weren't as gifted as Katakuri, their potential still surpassed that of Prospero, though they lagged slightly behind Compote. This was expected, given their shared lineage as Katakuri's younger triplet brothers. Joey freed himself from Linlin's grip and studied his 3 younger brothers. Suddenly, Katakuri's eyes snapped open, glowing with a crimson light. It was clear that, even as an infant, he already possessed observation haki, a natural prodigy. He. Joey glanced at Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven, then turned to Prospero and Compote. Finally, he exchanged a knowing look with Linlin. They both smiled. Chapter 20, Upgrading Potential. Charlotte Linlin usually only came back home around New Year's. There was no other way. She was part of the Rocks Pirates. As one of the most dominant pirate crews of this era, They waged war constantly. Though Linlin had a simple, childlike demeanor, she wasn't a fool. For the sake of amassing wealth, staying away from home was often unavoidable. This new year, however, the entire family was gathered together: Prospero, Compote, Kitakuri, Daifuku, Oven. And, of course, Joey and a Big Mom herself. Cheers. Everyone wore bright smiles, filled with joy and celebration. The New Year's feast wrapped up quickly, and soon after, Linlin left once more. Now, Joey was busy again. Tap, tap. Lightly tapping the table, Joey murmured to himself, Prospero and Compote are on track. Next up are Kitakuri, Oven, and Daifuku. The Perimsha, Puff Puff fruit. The Perimsha, Heat fruit. These two devil fruits have already been secured. And he rubbed his temples, contemplating. The Puff Puff fruit, Heat fruit, Lick fruit, Cream fruit, and Snake fruit, model, Yamato no Orochi. These 5 were all extremely valuable devil fruits that could never be traded away. On top of that, Linlin had brought back only 100 million Baileys this year, though the family's total assets had reached 2 billion Baileys. Joey kept 1 billion for operational costs and gave Linlin the remaining 1.1 billion. Money was never the real issue. The most critical resource was devil fruits. The more they could acquire, the better. Teach chose the Whitebeard pirates to search for the dark fruit because of their overwhelming strength. Likewise, the Rocks pirates were the most formidable pirate crew of this era, and the ability to get more devil fruits was there. Moreover, the crew consisted mostly of maniacs driven by greed, and with Linlin's power, purchasing devil fruits was never a problem. We have 10 other devil fruits on hand, aside from the 5 key ones. Oh, right. That's right. There's also the Booze fruit. That one is non-negotiable for trading either. Which means only 9 devil fruits are available for trade. With the 800 achievement points accumulated over the years, should I improve body refinement jutsus first, or focus on resolving the side effects for mom and the younger siblings? And then there's the Lick fruit, Cream fruit, and Booze fruit. They need to be handled separately. As for the Heat and Puff Puff fruits, should I give them to Oven and Daifuku? Joey felt overwhelmed. Developing a family wasn't something to be taken lightly. It required meticulous planning. Massaging his temples, Joey considered his options and then began thinking of the pillar of the family, Charlotte Kitakuri. If no better option appeared in the future, the Mochi fruit would be suitable for Kitakuri. The Mochi fruit had a unique versatility, classified as a special Perimsha. Special Perimsha fruits were as rare and valuable as some mythical zone types, reaching a pinnacle of potential. Sighing, Joey muttered, I need to find another extraordinary devil fruit. Mythical zone types are already allocated for other purposes. Ancient zone types are beneath consideration. The best options are high-grade Perimsha or Logia types. Ugh, having a prodigy like Kitakuri as a younger brother really makes things complicated. It's so hard to find a fruit worthy of him. At this moment, Joey could only lament over the difficulty of securing the right fruit for Kitakuri. The Lick fruit, Cream fruit, and Booze fruit. These could be considered mid-tier devil fruits. Meanwhile, the Heat and Puff Puff fruits were high-tier options. In theory, devil fruits weren't inherently ranked by strength. The user's capabilities mattered most. But let's be real, powerful fruits like Mythical Zone, Logia, and Special Perimsha types were priced sky-high for a reason: they were strong. This was why Joey insisted on only the best for his family. The Puff Puff and Heat fruits would be perfect for Daifuku and Oven. Prospero, too, had been matched with a top-tier brush fruit. But for Kitakuri and Compote, things were trickier. Compote had specialized in the combat techniques of the giant race, while Kitakuri's ideal fruit remained uncertain. Ding! A transaction notification interrupted Joey's thoughts. Titan Clan Leader, Charlotte Clan Leader, I have 12 strands of Divine Bone Essence. Willing to trade for 8 devil fruits. Interested? Charlotte Clan Leader, deal. Let's trade, Titan Clan Leader, straight to the point. Great. In an instant, 9 devil fruits turned into just 1, replaced by 12 strands of Divine Bone Essence. Joey fused 30 strands into a complete Divine Bone. A brilliant golden glow illuminated the room, as though devouring everything in its radiance. What emerged was a small, golden bone, about the size of a pinky finger, exuding pure, dazzling light. Excellent. Joey nodded with satisfaction. The Divine Bone will be fused with Mom. As for the remaining 2 strands, one will boost Kitakuri to golden level potential. The other, I'll keep for now. Without hesitation, Joey got to work. Soon, the family's status updated: Charlotte Kitakuri, identity, 3rd son of the Charlotte family, strength, black iron level 9 potential, gold level 1 description, a true monster of the Charlotte family. With his aptitude breakthrough, he is destined to be a cornerstone of the family's future. Charlotte Lilin, identity, mother of the Charlotte family. Strength, silver level 2 potential, platinum level 9 description, the mother and pillar of the Charlotte family. With the divine bone surpassing the world's limits, she can break through the global cap with proper training. She's the family's ultimate shield. Joey glanced at the 2 updated panels and chuckled. Mom. Katakuri. Go for it. Your goal is to become unbeatable. The family's future rests on you as its foundation. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 21, Time Skip, 10 years. The year was 1484 of the sea calendar. It had been exactly 10 years since Joey successfully enhanced both Big Mom and Katakuri's potential. Over this decade, much had changed, and now, an event of great historical significance was about to come, the God Valley incident. During these years, the Rocks pirates had grown to their peak. Their captain, Rox D. Zebuk, had grown restless. No longer content with being a mere pirate, he now sought to become the king of the world, planning to annihilate both the celestial dragons and their dogs at God Valley. Yet for the Charlotte family, this marked an incredible transformation and a chance to join and benefit from the battle. Ah! So good. Katakuri devoured a sweet donut with visible joy, his demeanor radiating confidence and cheerfulness. Katakuri, a naturally open and carefree boy, Katakuri's self-assured nature remained strong. However, under Joey's teachings, he had also embraced the weight of responsibility as the family's pillar. Katakuri, said Prospero, lounging on the sofa with a sigh, don't you think you should cover your mouth? Maybe then, you could make some normal friends. Despite being just teenagers, even they sought companionship outside the family. I don't need friends, Katakuri declared, swallowing the donut. A grin stretched across his face, revealing his intimidating, split-mouth scar, a reminder of an incident at age 3, when his love for donuts had led to tearing both sides of his mouth wide open. Though he looked monstrous to many, Katakuri didn't care. Big Bro told me something important, don't mind what others think. People stare because they lack the strength to understand. I don't need anyone's approval. My job is to protect my family, that's enough. With a firm fist, he demonstrated his resolve. At just 10 years old, Katakuri was a bronze level 6 fighter, a monstrous power comparable to a normal marine vice admiral. Even Prospero, 2 years his senior, though bolstered by a silver level 5 potential, could only achieve bronze level 4 strength, barely nearing rear admiral level. Katakuri. The door burst open as Daifuku and Oven strode in. What's up? Katakuri greeted them, his confidence unwavering. Both Daifuku and Oven, aged and like Katakuri, shared Prospero's bronze level 4 power, a testament to Joey's meticulous training. The Charlotte family's first 5 children were undoubtedly prodigies. Katakuri, the strongest, stood at bronze level 6 power at the age of 10. Compote, the eldest daughter, was a close second with bronze level 5 power at age 11. Prospero, Daifuku, and Oven followed at bronze level 4. But beyond these exceptional pioneers, the family's subsequent generations showed mixed talent. The Charlotte family's second daughter, Mundi, along with her younger triplet sisters Amand, Hashi, and Defili, were snake-neck hybrid. Among them, only Amand possessed silver level 5 potential, while the others reached just silver level 1 potential. At the 9 years old, their abilities ranged from bronze level 3 for Amand to bronze level 1 for her sisters. Next came the 5 sons, Opera, Counter, Cadenza, Cabaletta, and Gala, all born as quintuplets from Mana bloodline. Opera inherited silver level 5 potential, while his brothers were silver level 1. Joey planned to entrust these boys with the legendary Yamato no Orochi devil fruit, while continuing his search for other mythical zone fruits to further enhance their power. These 5 were destined to become the family's elite enforcers. Following them, Cracker, the 11th son, along with his triplet sisters Custard and Angel, displayed yet another standout. Cracker was gifted with silver level 8 potential, which Joey further elevated to gold level 1, preparing him for unparalleled greatness. His sisters, though less gifted, still reached silver level 3 potential. From twins Zakato and Brule, to further sets of siblings born with unique origins, the Charlotte family had expanded to a staggering 19 sons and 11 daughters. In just 14 years. Katakuri, want a donut? Daifuku teased, breaking the tension. But before Katakuri could respond, Daifuku added, wait, don't. Big Bro's calling everyone. He says it's urgent. At the mention of their eldest brother, both Katakuri and Prospero immediately stood up, their expressions turning serious. For the Charlotte siblings, Joey wasn't just their elder brother, he was their idol. Over the years, his teachings, leadership, and guidance had elevated the family to its current might. To them, He wasn't merely their leader but a figure of unwavering reverence. Under Joey's direction, the Charlotte family had risen to new heights. Each sibling carried immense pride in their name, their family, and most importantly, in Joey himself. Their faith in him wasn't blind, it was absolute. A conviction rooted in the remarkable truth of what Joey had accomplished for them all. "Let's go," Katakuri declared, his voice firm as he led his brothers and sisters toward Joey's call. The family's future was bright, and under Joey's guidance, they knew there were no limits to what they could achieve. Chapter 22, 2 ways. Over 10 years had passed, and in that time, Joey had undergone remarkable changes. Though only 14 years old, he now appeared as a man in his early 20s, radiant, refined, and utterly flawless. His striking pink hair and gentle smile exuded an elegance that belied his true intentions. As the head of the Charlotte family, Charlotte Joey was a man whose emotions were inscrutable, a leader who concealed his thoughts behind a calm and warm demeanor. The creak of the library door interrupted the quiet. 4 young figures, Prospero, Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven, stepped inside. "Big brother." They greeted in unison. Joey acknowledged them with a serene smile and a nod. Shortly after, Compote, Mundi, Amand, Hashi, and Ephile entered, followed by the 5 brothers led by Opera. Though Joey's call had gone out to the entire family, only the more mature members were summoned. The youngest siblings, still too inexperienced, were excluded. For now, their growth and education remained their primary focus. Among those gathered, Cracker, the 11th child, stood apart. Charlotte Cracker, title, 11th son of the Charlotte family. Strength, bronze rank level 5 potential, gold rank level 1 overview, another prodigy of the family, poised to become one of its future pillars. As the final 15 family members entered the room, the maids discreetly shut the door, ensuring privacy. Katakuri leaned back and asked bluntly, "Big brother, what's going on?" Joey's soft smile remained. "Katakuri, have you finally figured things out?" "Hey." Katakuri scratched his head awkwardly. "Big brother, I've long since stopped worrying about how others see me. My only concern now is protecting my younger siblings." "Good." Joey nodded approvingly. "That clarity of thought will serve you well. As for why I've gathered you all, there's news from Mother. The God Valley War is about to begin." The room fell silent. "God Valley?" murmured Prospero. "Is it really starting?" Joey confirmed with a subtle nod, and the room grew tense. Every child old enough to understand the implications of the war knew how monumental and dangerous it would be. Joey scanned the group, his gaze briefly settling on Opera and his brothers. Unlike their elder siblings, the 4 younger brothers were more bronze than brains, not suited for strategy. Still, they had their strengths, and Joey didn't expect them to excel in areas outside their nature. "Opera," Joey addressed, "have your weapons been forged?" Opera stood tall and answered confidently, "Big brother, yes. They're ready and fit perfectly for us." Joey chuckled softly. "Good. Make sure not to bring shame upon the family. The 5 of you are destined to be key fighters in our ranks. Leave it to us." Opera thumped his chest, his pride unmistakable. Despite being only 8 years old, he and his brothers, Counter, Cadenza, Cabaletta, and Gala, already stood close to 3 meters tall. Their own bloodline had blessed them with massive physiques and remarkable strength. Prospero broke the silence, his tone hesitant. "Big brother, the God Valley War will be extremely dangerous. With our current strength, the risks of participating are far too high. That said, for the treasures we'd find there." He didn't need to finish the sentence. Everyone knew the allure of God Valley, a gathering of celestial dragons, their slaves, and their riches. The potential bounty was unimaginable: gold, jewels, rare devil fruits, legendary swords, and countless other priceless treasures. Joey's voice interrupted his thoughts. "The risks are secondary. Mother has already embraced the identity of a pirate. Since there's no cleaning that stain, we'll let her remain a pirate. But now we must decide who will accompany her on this path." The room stilled again. Compote tilted her head. "Big brother, does this mean that while Mother becomes a pirate, we won't?" Joey smiled at her question. At just 11 years old, Compote radiated the beauty and grace of a young woman, thanks to Joey's strict training regimen that prevented the weight gain their mother, Big Mom, was infamous for in the original timeline. She, like the others, embodied their family's full potential in both appearance and strength. Amand chimed in thoughtfully, "Mother's dream is to build Totland, but as long as she's a pirate, no one will ever respect that dream. Pirates, no matter how powerful, are despised by the world." "Exactly," Joey praised. "Totland can be built by anyone and protected by pirates, but it cannot be built by pirates themselves. The roles must be clear, and the structure must be deliberate." He gave an example: take the Kano country in the West Blue. They've built an official Happo Navy composed of 8 pirate fleets, from the first treasure fleet to the 8th. These pirates, though powerful, are officially part of the country's army. Even Marine Vice Admiral Garp couldn't capture their leader, Chinzhou, because the Kano country is a full member of the world government. That's the power of structure and identity. Katakuri's voice broke in. Big brother, I have decided. I'll follow mother. Through battles as a pirate, I can grow stronger. His determination was clear, and Joey could only give his approval. Joey then held up 2 devil fruits. Before you go, I have prepared these for you and Opera. He tossed one fruit to Katakuri and the other to Opera. Katakuri held a special Paramsha, Mochi fruit, while Opera received a mythical zone, fish fruit, Azure Dragon Muddle. These were no ordinary fruits but powerful gifts, ensuring their potential would flourish even further. Chapter 23, Sweet Commanders and the 5 Pastry Generals. The Mochi fruit, a rare special Paramsha devil fruit. After 10 years of searching, it was finally found. Joey had chosen to give the Mochi fruit to Katakuri for 2 key reasons. First, Joey didn't believe a single devil fruit should define or limit the family's strength. With access to the trade system, he had already begun scouting for other suitable powers and resources to bolster their collective might. His vision was grander than relying on any one fruit as the family's foundation. Second, if the situation demanded it in the future, Joey was confident he could find a way for Katakuri to consume a second devil fruit, an unusual move, but one that fully justified Katakuri's worth. Moreover, Joey recognized Katakuri's ability to awaken the Mochi fruit, unlocking its true potential. This made it the optimal choice for the present, ensuring the family's continued growth while solidifying Katakuri's role as a cornerstone of their strength. As for the Azure Dragon fruit, Charlotte Linlin had already acquired it. Alright. Big brother. Katakuri and Opera, without hesitation, devoured their respective devil fruits in large bites. Ugh! Both let out muffled groans as the overwhelming power coursed through them. Roar! Opera unleashed a fearsome roar, his body twisting and contorting violently. In an instant, the hybrid beast form of a dragon began to emerge, blending human agility with the raw strength of a beast. This was the peak transformation of Zone Devil Fruits, beast form. Opera gritted his teeth, his voice harsh and guttural. Big brother. Joey smiled warmly. How does it feel? Gradually regaining control, Opera let out a deep breath, his voice steadying. It feels incredible. This is the power of a mythical zone. Big brother, I can tell, my strength will skyrocket in no time. Hee. Joey chuckled and shook his head. Don't rush it. Your body is still growing. You must not force it. Focus on mastering the basics for now. Understand? Got it, big brother? Opera scratched his head sheepishly, nodding. Opera had eaten the fish fruit, mythical zone, Azure Dragon model, while Counter consumed the snake fruit, mythical zone, Yamata no Orochi model. As for Cadenza, Cabaletta, and Gala, Joey was still seeking suitable mythical zone fruits for them. Joey narrowed his eyes in thought. I already have some leads on the fruit that would suit Gala best. It's not certain, but it's a start. Letting out a slow breath, Joey turned to Prospero. How are the intelligence operations coming along? Prospero replied instantly, Big brother, you can rest assured. Though we've only just started, our network is steadily expanding. Joey nodded approvingly. That's excellent. Katakuri, how are you adjusting? Big brother. Katakuri raised his hand. With a single motion, his body began to transform, twisting into malleable mochi that moved with his will. Despite having only just eaten the mochi fruit, Katakuri was already displaying remarkable control. His talent was undeniable. Joey smiled. Impressive, Katakuri. With the upcoming God Valley War, I want you to take Cracker and support Mother. Remember, from the moment you leave this island, you belong to the Big Mom Pirates, not Totland. Is that clear? Joey's tone grew increasingly stern, and Katakuri's expression matched it in seriousness. Understood, big brother. Cracker also straightened, his voice firm. We won't let you down. Good. Joey's smile returned as he looked at Katakuri and Cracker. I'll make sure to make this family free from such shackles in the future. Still, these two were among the family's brightest stars. Their talent was beyond question. Rather than keeping them confined within the family, it was better for them to follow Linlin into the world of piracy, where they could truly grow through the rigors of battle. From now on, Joey declared, you will be known as the Sweet Commanders. Go and prepare for your mission. During the God Valley War, I may make an appearance myself. Is anyone else coming along? Joey scanned the room with a calm smile. The others exchanged glances before 5 stepped forward, Compote, Amand, Mundi, Hashi, and Defili. Seeing his 5 sisters step forward, Joey gave a gentle nod. Take care of yourselves. There's no need to rush or worry excessively. Just grow at your own pace. Joey's tone softened further as he gave his sisters a brotherly reminder. For his brothers, they were expected to bear the family's burdens. For his sisters, their growth could come at a more leisurely pace. Joey knew even though they had the same potential and talent, they needed a different way to be treated. Katakuri assured him firmly, "Big brother, I promise to protect our family." Compote, while silent, nodded with determination, her resolve evident in her eyes. "Good." Joey's expression remained warm. "Go forth, Katakuri, Cracker. While there may still be a vacant spot among the Sweet Commanders, I have high expectations of you. Show this world the might of the Charlotte family. Don't worry, big brother. We won't fail." Katakuri and Cracker gripped their weapons tightly, resolve shining brightly in their eyes. From childhood, they had grown under Joey's guidance and protection. Now, it was their turn to act for the family. Katakuri, Cracker, Compote, and Amand, each already possessing extraordinary strength. Katakuri, Bronze Level 6 Cracker, Bronze Level 5 Compote, Bronze Level 5 Amand, Bronze Level 3 the others, while younger, were at Bronze Level 1. As they set off, Joey stood at the port, watching their ship sail into the horizon. The sound of waves lapping against the shore accompanied the fading song of the ship. Turning away, Joey faced Prospero. "From now on, the family's affairs will be under your care." Prospero froze, stunned. "Big brother? Where are you going? You're the pillar of the family, you can't just leave." Joey shook his head with a faint smile. "Don't worry. There are things I must do that no one else can. Trust me." As he finished speaking, 5 figures approached from the distance, the opera quintuplets. Each one bore the title Joey had bestowed upon them, the 5 pastry generals. Chapter 24, Totland. In the beginning, Joey had simply thought of his 5 younger brothers as a group of promising warriors, their strength reminiscent of formidable generals. But later, when the Yamata no Orochi fruit was consumed, he realized something remarkable: these 5 brothers truly embodied the spirit of the legendary warriors and generals. And so, the title 5 Generals of Pastry was bestowed upon them. Each of the 5 brothers wore heavy, custom-made armor. This was no ordinary gear, it was forged by master craftsman Joey had acquired through a deal with Kurizumi Higurashi. Craftsmanship from Wano country was unmatched anywhere in the world. Joey spared no expense, trading vast amounts of gold, Wano's sole accepted currency, to purchase 20 artisans from Higurashi. These skilled craftsmen created the perfect armor for the 5 generals, sturdy, heavy, yet offering exceptional mobility. Elder brother Opera, wielding the Azure Dragon Crescent Blade, empowered by the Azure Dragon Fruit. Second brother Counter, wielding the Long Snake Spear, empowered by the Yamata no Orochi Fruit. Third brother Cadenza, wielding the Silver Dragon Spear. Fourth brother Cavalette, wielding the Golden Tiger Spear. Fifth brother Gala, wielding the Sun Moon Mountain Splitting Blade. Big brother Opera approached Joey. Towering nearly 3 meters tall and clad in imposing armor, he looked like an indomitable iron-clad general. Joey sized up the 5 brothers, a rare smile of pride spreading across his face. "You 5 all grown so much. Truly impressive." "Ah. Ha ha. Hee hee." Hearing Joey's praise, the 5 brothers scratched their heads, visibly flustered. Joey, while gentle, had always been the strict elder brother, earning their utmost respect. This unexpected compliment left them both proud and embarrassed. Joey chuckled and shook his head. "All right, prepare to set sail. Remember, we're not pirates. You must carry yourselves with the dignity of future kings. Understood?" "Understood." The 5 brothers immediately straightened up, nodding solemnly. Just then, a sweet voice called out, "Big brother! Big brother!" Charlotte Brûlé ran over and jumped into Joey's arms. "Can I come with you?" Joey smiled warmly. "Brûlé, what are you doing here on your own?" With his sisters, Joey was always gentle. He understood the value of raising girls with care and affection. The saying "raise sons roughly, raise daughters gently" was a principle he upheld. Brûlé grinned. "Big brother, I want to come with you." "Broey wants to come too, but she's too shy to say it." I want to come." Broey, her twin sister, stepped out hesitantly, twirling a lock of her pink hair. The twins were undeniably adorable. Brûlé, the elder, had violet hair, while Broey's hair was pink. Joey was determined to ensure these girls had happy childhoods, unmarred by bullying or neglect. He couldn't imagine letting them grow into anything less than the beauties they were destined to become. "All right," Joey said, ruffling Brûlé's hair and smiling at Broey. "If you want to come along, then you can join me." At that moment, Prospero arrived with Daifuku and Oven in tow. Prospero, a Paramsha user of the brush fruit, at bronze level 4. Daifuku, a Paramsha user of the puff fruit, Also at bronze level 4. Oven, a Paramsha user of the heat fruit, similarly at bronze level 4. Joey looked at the three of them. Prospero, Daifuku, Oven, the family's affairs are in your hands now. I'm leaving you with 1,000 guards while I take the other 1,000 with me. Protect the family's assets, develop the intelligence network, and don't slack on your training. You're only a step away from the next level. The Charlotte family's true pillars of strength were few in the original timeline, with only 9 individuals: Prospero, Kitakuri, Cracker, Smoothie, Snack, Daifuku, Oven, Compote, and Amand, fitting the bill. That was precisely why Joey was so intent on developing the rest of the family's potential. He ensured the 5 opera brothers were combat-ready and sought to develop the unique talents of his other siblings, even those who might not become fighters. Whether in battle or other fields, they all had their parts to play. Prospero nodded firmly. Big brother, don't worry. I'll handle everything. But you, be careful. The family can't afford to lose you. Touched by his brother's words, Joey smiled confidently. When I return, it will be time to establish Totland as a nation. As Joey spoke, Prospero, Daifuku, Oven, and the other brothers couldn't help but tear up. The Charlotte family could survive without anyone but their eldest brother. With a determined smile, Joey turned toward the horizon, ready to embark on the next phase of their journey. Chapter 25, Aptitude Pills. Splash, splash. Joey boarded the ship accompanied by Opera and his 5 brothers. Alongside them were Brule and Broe, his 2 younger sisters. Or so it seemed. Once aboard, Joey called out, Custard, Angel. How much longer do you plan to hide? At the sound of his voice, Brule and Broe glanced around curiously. Soon enough, from the cabin, 2 more little girls emerged, equally adorable. Brule and Broe were only 5 years old, while Custard and Angel were just 7. In short, 4 little girls were now part of the group. The 2 elder sisters lowered their heads apologetically. Custard softly spoke, Big brother, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have followed you. Haha. Joey chuckled. I'm not angry. You're my family, my little sisters. No matter the time or place, you should never feel the need to hide. As long as it's safe, it's fine. If it were dangerous, of course, I wouldn't have allowed it. Huh? The 2 young girls instantly perked up. Angel excitedly asked, Big brother, does that mean you'll take us out with you? Joey shook his head. Since you're already aboard, I can't send you back now, can I? But let me be clear, this isn't a leisure trip. We have work to do. Yes. The 2 girls nodded obediently. Joey didn't mind their presence. After all, they were his sisters, and he wasn't some reckless pirate. There wasn't much danger for them to fear. As the ship set sail, Opera finished arranging things and approached Joey. Big brother, where's our first destination? Joey responded, Opera, what do you think is the most important thing for the Charlotte family to build a nation? To build a nation? The other brothers joined the conversation, their curiosity piqued. After a moment of thought, Gale ventured, Big brother, is it the citizens? Joey nodded. Exactly. To establish Totland, we need citizens, especially ones from different races. That's what makes it special. Mom's vision isn't just to create an ordinary nation, she wants a land where people of all races can live together harmoniously. Citizens are the foundation of that dream. True. That's right. Exactly. The brothers nodded in agreement. Opera, deep in thought, asked, So, is that why you bought such a large number of beastmen and dwarves, Big brother? Joey didn't answer directly, instead offering a mysterious smile. In this world, beastmen and dwarves didn't naturally exist. Yet Joey had acquired them in massive quantities. Over time, their cost had become absurdly cheap, just 3 devil fruits could purchase 10,000 of them. While their innate talents were decent, they didn't compare to the likes of demons, angels, titans, or dragons, races that were in a completely different league. Moreover, devil fruits had become valuable commodities, and countless people sought Joey out for trades. Why? Because possessing a devil fruit meant the potential to grasp the concept of laws, even if only in their newborn form. That alone made them invaluable. In the past 14 years, the chaotic pricing of earlier days had stabilized. Currently, 10 devil fruits could buy a complete divine root. Back then, Joey had spent 22 devil fruits for a single one. Now, with the price drop, Joey possessed 5 complete divine roots. However, they were becoming harder to acquire, so he used them sparingly. He didn't want to regret it later. Still, seeing the potential of Kitakuri and Cracker, Joey realized they were the perfect candidates. It's about time. Joey thought to himself. This training journey for Kitakuri and Cracker is the ideal opportunity to enhance their potential. After a brief moment of contemplation, Joey upgraded both of their talents again. Charlotte Katakuri, title, Charlotte Family's First Sweet Commander Strength, Bronze Level 6 Potential, Platinum Level 9 Devil Fruit, Mochi Mochi Fruit, Weaknesses, Seawater, Sea Prism Stone, Weapon, Trident Mole Dragon Description, the true pillar of the Charlotte family. On the path to growth, given enough time, perhaps just 20 years or less, he could become one of the family's most vital members. Charlotte Cracker, title, Charlotte Family's Second Sweet Commander Strength, Bronze Level 5 Potential, Platinum Level 9 Devil Fruit, Biscuit Fruit, Weaknesses, Seawater, Sea Prism Stone, Weapon, Great Sword Pretzel Description, another pillar of the family. Though he has a few weaknesses, his growth rate is exceptional. His determination might lead him to surpass all expectations. Joey nodded in satisfaction. Mom, Katakuri, Cracker. The next phase of your rapid growth is about to begin. But his plans didn't stop there. The world was on the cusp of another chaotic era. With the fall of the Rocks Pirates, the triumvirate of Roger, Whitebeard, and the Flying Pirates would dominate the seas. The Charlotte family had to seize their share of power in this new age. If that's the case, Joey mused, it's time to enhance the potential of all these kids. Using aptitude pills that he bought earlier, Joey boosted the potential of 10 siblings, Prospero, Compote, Daifuku, Oven, Amand, Opera, Counter, Cadenza, Cabaletta, and Gala. Each pill could raise potential a level until Gold Level 1, and though it wasn't as powerful as a divine root, it was still invaluable. Joey spent 65 aptitude pills, nearly his entire collection of 70 pills. It was worth it. The family was entering a crucial growth period, and these investments would yield immense returns. Chapter 26, Elbaf. 10 years had passed before Joey finally decided to go out himself to gather people for Totland. During these 10 years, Joey had not focused on enhancing the talents of his family members. The reason was simple, it wasn't necessary. Their abilities had yet to mature. In other words, they still needed time to grow and had not yet entered the phase of rapid development. But now, things were different. His younger siblings, who had all reached around 10 years of age, were on the threshold of youth. What lay ahead for them was a period of explosive growth. Keeping resources idle served no purpose. Resources only mattered when they were used to their full potential, enabling true progress. Consume achievement points to upgrade body refinement jutsu. Joey ordered the system. Ding. Clan leader has consumed 1,000 achievement points to upgrade body refinement jutsu to Gold Level 9. With this, Joey enhanced the body refinement jutsu. Once again. In an instant, everyone in the family felt a tangible change. It was as if their strength had been elevated. Linlin's power surged to Silver Level 3. And every family member also experienced a noticeable improvement, with their strength generally increasing by 3 levels. Katakuri, for example, had jumped directly to Bronze Level 9, just one step away from reaching Silver Level. And Katakuri was only 10 years old. The 5 Opera brothers also showed remarkable growth. Opera and Counter reached Bronze Level 6, while the other 3 brothers advanced to Bronze Level 4. This was no surprise. The body refinement jutsu was an amazing jutsu that has 13 tiers. Although Joey hadn't invested significant resources into the technique over the years, its current progress still reached Tier 3. The recent upgrade had naturally amplified everyone's power. Unfortunately, Joey hasn't been able to get any second jutsu as no one is selling it after discovering its worth. Joey nodded in satisfaction, thinking, family techniques truly prove their value over time. Especially a method like the body refinement jutsu, it's clearly indispensable. As the family developed and grew, the importance of such a technique, which enhanced the body from the inside out, became increasingly evident. Unlike various other methods, which often came with weaknesses like frail physiques or exploitable flaws, the body refinement jutsu had none of these vulnerabilities. Big brother? X5. The voices of his siblings brought Joey back to the present. He asked, turning to them with a smile. What's the matter? Big brother. Opera scratched his head awkwardly. It feels like my strength has suddenly increased. It's kind of strange. Joey chuckled warmly. There's no mystery here. The body refinement jutsu was upgraded, which naturally boosted your abilities. Don't overthink it. Just focus on stabilizing your newfound power. It would be a shame if you couldn't control it in battle. Understanding dawned on Opera, and he quickly nodded. Got it, big brother. Don't worry, I'll master it. After a moment, Custard came and hesitated before asking, Big brother, I always wanted to ask, did you buy the Ghost, Dwarf, and other clans just to bolster our population? Joey nodded. Exactly. I purchased 10,000 members each from the clans. As long as they can reproduce, they'll gradually grow into larger communities. What's more important is that we aim to unite all the non-human races in this world. Non-human races? The siblings tilted their heads in confusion, not quite understanding. Joey shook his head and elaborated, "It's simple. Totland is meant to be a haven for all races, not just another ordinary country. Without a diverse population, can it truly live up to its name? That's why our goal is to win the support of every non-human race." Curious, Custard asked, "Big brother, does that mean if we get the support of all the non-human races, even the world government will have to acknowledge us?" Joey smiled faintly. "Exactly. By gaining the backing of these races, we secure our place as both a member and a decision-maker within the world government. This recognition is crucial. No matter how strong a pirate is, they'll never be the world's mainstream force, they're just an accessory at best." "Oh. So that's it." "Wow." Whether they fully understood or not, the younger siblings nodded enthusiastically, their innocence bringing a smile to Joey's face as he was thinking. If they understood, great. If not, it didn't matter, they'd have plenty of time to learn. After all, these children are still growing, and time is on their side. "All right," Joey said warmly. "Stop overthinking. For now, focus on the task ahead. Our first destination is the Elbaf warrior village. Everyone, prepare yourselves. As you all know, Mother's relationship with the giant race isn't exactly ideal. Understood?" Hearing this, a solemn air fell over the group. Everyone was well aware of how strained their mother's ties with the giants were, strained to the point of irreparability. This wasn't just about past misunderstandings from her youth. There were deeper conflicts and incidents that had only widened the rift over the years. "Off you go, then. Get ready." At Joey's command, the siblings scattered to make their preparations. Joey, however, remained deep in thought. The giants, the fishmen, the merfolk, the Tonata tribe, the long-armed tribe, the long-legged tribe, the three-eyed tribe, the snake-neck tribe, the minx, and the angels, these 10 races are vital. Apart from the angel, sky, race, who reside in Skypiea, waiting for me, all others will need to be rallied. Narrowing his eyes, Joey began meticulously planning his next steps. Totland was not just about building a country. To establish it successfully, the support of these races was essential. But just as important was earning the backing of other powerful nations. Without both, the dream of founding a nation was far from achievable. Chapter 27, The 5-year-old Charlotte Linlin. Now that Joey has decided to set sail and take the first steps toward founding a nation, everything is fully prepared. In truth, for Joey, dealing with certain races, such as the long-armed tribe, long-legged tribe, fishmen, and merfolk, will be the easiest part. These 4 major races are among the largest of the non-human tribes, but also gaining their allegiance is a straightforward matter. As for the angel tribe, the Sky Islands are nothing but a scattered group of weaklings. If Joey wishes, he can easily take them under his wing. The real challenges lie ahead: the Snake-Neck tribe, the Mink tribe, the Giants, and the Three-Eye tribe. While the Snake-Neck tribe and Three-Eye tribe should be manageable, the Mink tribe and Giants present far greater difficulties. Joey is well aware that these 2 groups will require delicate handling. After all, his ultimate goal is clear: 2 years from now, during the World Summit of 1486, Joey intends to not only declare the establishment of Totland but also secure its position as both a member nation and a decision-making power. This is Joey's vision. As the ship glided across the seas, Joey was in no hurry. He reclined slightly, his eyes narrowing as he pondered. The kingdom of Dressrosa, the kingdom of Alabasta, the Germa kingdom. And, in his mind, he swiftly ran through a list of nations, totaling 25 in all. The world government currently counts over 170 member nations, though the exact figure remains unclear. Every 4 years, the rulers of 50 nations gather for the World Summit. What Joey must accomplish is to use the next 2 years to ensure that Totland's status as a member and decision-making nation is formally approved during that pivotal meeting. He rubbed his temples gently and sighed. The road ahead is long. There's so much to be done, and while 2 years might feel tight, with Mama. No, never mind. Let's not rely on my unreliable Mama. With Katakuri stepping up, it shouldn't be a problem. Please grow quickly, Katakuri. Joey chuckled at the thought. His mother was far from dependable, but Katakuri? After honing his skills, Katakuri would likely reach Silver Rank level 1 in 2 years. That would be crucial, ensuring the family had a third pillar of strength beyond himself and Mama. Having mulled over his strategy, Joey turned his focus to his studies. No matter the circumstances, Joey had never stopped learning. For him, acquiring knowledge, whether political, strategic, or cultural, was vital. Know yourself and your enemy and you'll never lose. The foundation of any success lies in understanding, and Joey made sure he excelled in every field he could. Meanwhile, in another part of the ship, Opera stood on the deck, staring at the horizon, when Gala approached him with concern. Opera, he said, his tone serious. Do you think this trip to the village of Elbaf could end in disaster? Appa remained silent for a moment. Then suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from him. As a wielder of the Azure Dragon Devil Fruit, it was natural for him to exude such a presence. Under the family's pressure, it was evident that Appa had the potential to awaken Conqueror's Haki someday. But not everyone could be monsters like Kitakuri and Cracker, who possessed all three forms of Haki at such a young age. Among the 5 Appa siblings, wielding 2 forms of Haki was already a remarkable achievement. Reigning in his aura, Appa's voice turned icy. The giants. If negotiations fail, we will protect our brother and sisters at all costs, even if it means annihilating the entire giant tribe. That's right. Counter, Gala, Cadenza, and Cabaletta stepped forward, their resolve clear. The 5 warriors stood tall, their fierce determination evident. They would never allow anything to happen to their family, no matter the cost. The journey from Cake Island to the village of Elbaf was not long. In just 10 days, the ship neared its destination. As dawn broke, Joey emerged from his quarters dressed in elegant attire, a coat draped over his shoulders. Standing on the deck, he gazed at the island in the distance and smiled. Finally, we've arrived. Elbaf, the village of warriors. The giant's domain includes the Elbaf capital, other towns, and villages spread across 15 islands worldwide. While there are settlements in all the Blues and the Grand Line, the most famous of them is this warrior village. It was here that legends like Dory, Brogy, Jorl, and Jarl emerged, 4 heroic figures who shaped the history of the giants. But as Joey's ship approached, the atmosphere grew tense. Boom. Boom. The earth rumbled. Massive figures emerged from the village, their footsteps echoing like thunder. Leading the charge was Elder Jarl, followed by a horde of fierce giants. Roar. Their deafening battle cries shook the air. With an icy glare, Jarl shouted, Charlottes, get lost. There's no place for you here. You are not welcome in Elbaf. Joey, however, remained unbothered. Oh dear. He said with a faint smile. Elder Jarl, must you hold on to the past? Aren't old grievances better left behind? I've come to propose a deal, one I believe your people will find quite interesting. After all, it concerns the legends of your 2 great heroes. Joey's confident smile was unwavering. He knew precisely how to handle the giants. Sure enough, the rowdy crowd suddenly fell silent. Jarl's expression turned grim as he hesitated. As an elder, he couldn't afford to act rashly, especially not when the subject involved the revered heroes of their people. Still, his anger flared at the memories of past betrayals. Fine. Jarl growled. If you want to talk, show us your strength first. We giants respect only the strong. Joey shook his head, a trace of exasperation in his voice. So even in diplomacy, strength must come first? How tiresome. Unfortunately for you, the gap in power is all too clear. He smirked. Remember, my mother killed your elder Jorl when she was only 5 years old. Do you really need further proof of the difference between us? I can summon her now so you remember what fear is. Chapter 28, Beat into submission. Silence fell over the atmosphere. Joey, however, was all smiles. Indeed, he had come to trade with the giants. But, a trade should be between equals. It's not about anyone being superior or inferior. Yet here they were, acting like they were putting him to the test. In that case, Joey saw no need to be overly polite or negotiate nicely. If they wanted to play rough, he wasn't going to hold back either. For now, he couldn't wipe out the entire giant race. But if he could? He might consider it. Humphrey. Jarl snorted coldly, his voice icy. Fine. I'll be waiting at the village elder's altar. Let's see if you can even make it there. With that, Jarl turned and left. Many giants remained behind, glaring menacingly. This was Elbaf's warrior village, home to about 1,000 giants. Don't underestimate that number. Across the entire nation of Elbaf, there were nearly 300,000 giants. A number that was nothing short of terrifying. After all, these weren't ordinary humans, they were giants. This was why Elbaf was regarded as the world's most powerful nation. In the original story, even Linlin had mentioned that with the support of the giants, she wouldn't have to fear Kaido, Shanks, or Whitebeard. She could have wiped out all the other emperors. These 300,000 giants were scattered across the globe. Here, the 1,000 giants present were the cream of the crop, battle-hardened elites. Their strength was formidable. Granted, they were no match for monsters like Linlin. But compared to ordinary soldiers or pirates, they were on an entirely different level. Ah, really? Joey shook his head with a hint of exasperation. Getting on in years and still this hot-headed. Opera, counter, cadenza, cabaletta, gala. Yes. X5. The five brothers stepped forward. Joey smiled warmly. Remember, don't kill anyone. We're here to make a deal, not stir up trouble. Yes. X5. A sharp gleam flashed in the brothers' eyes. Joey's words were clear, no killing. But anything short of that? Well, that left room for interpretation. You little brats. Don't get cocky. You're just some punks. The giants had gathered as the ship docked, eyes blazing with murderous intent. They harbored deep resentment toward the Charlotte family. Their unreliable mother's actions years ago had left the entire giant race seething with fury. Their hostility wasn't surprising. Roar. As the five opera brothers disembarked, the giants immediately charged into battle. Brûlé clung nervously to Joey's arm. Big brother. Big brother. Will Opera and the others be okay? Joey chuckled, soothing the frazzled Brûlé while glancing at the more composed Custard, Angel, and Broey. The three girls were clearly nervous but stood firm, their gazes fixed on the battle ahead. Their resolve was stronger than Brûlé's. Joey's warm smile lingered. Don't worry. If Opera and the others can't handle trash like this, they'd be a disgrace. Bastard. Damn it. You dare. The giants were enraged by such blatant provocation. But standing in their path were the five generals personally trained by Joey. Opera and Counter were both solid level 6 bronze fighters, a power level comparable to Marine Vice Admirals. The others weren't far behind, all at level 4 bronze, nearing Vice Admiral strength. And most importantly, they were Ana. With their traits of relentless fighting, increasing strength as the battle raged, and incredible physical power, they were an unstoppable force. Roar. Opera let out a terrifying roar as his body transformed. Dragon scales covered his skin. His legs and arms morphed into claws, his head became draconic, and massive horns sprouted from his head. A coat of azure scales enveloped his massive form. His height, already an imposing 3 meters, surged to a towering 5 meters. Of course, compared to the giants, who were at least 12 meters tall as adults and often reached 17 meters on average, Opera's size was still dwarfed. But strength wasn't determined by size alone. If it were, wouldn't creatures like Sea Kings rule the world? Opera gripped his massive azure dragon crescent blade tightly, a sinister grin spreading across his face. You lot are going to die. Azure dragon slash. With a mighty swing, Opera unleashed 3 devastating slashes. Boom. 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 Dozens of giants were sent flying by the sheer force of the attack. Still, Opera's arms trembled slightly. After all, the azure dragon slash grew stronger with each consecutive strike but left him temporarily fatigued afterward. Roar. At that moment, Counter stepped forward. Danzō wielded the silver dragon spear. Cabaletta brandished the golden tiger spear. Gala held the sun-moon mountain-splitting blade. The three brothers charged into the fray. As brothers, they were well aware of Opera's limitations and knew exactly how to cover for him. With a roar, Counter began his transformation. His lower body became serpentine, and his head elongated into that of a snake. His height also surged from 3 meters to 5 meters. And from his back, 7 additional heads emerged, his main head retaining a serpentine appearance, while the others resembled dragon heads. Flicking his tongue, Counter's expression turned feral. Big brother taught us one thing: if you want someone to listen, you just have to beat them into submission. Then they'll listen. Chapter 29, Fair Trade. Ha ha, a light chuckle echoed. Joey strode forward with his 4 younger brothers walking beside him. You bastard. Get out of my way. A massive giant suddenly stood in Joey's path, but Cabaletta, armed with his spear, charged fiercely like a lion. With a single thrust, the spear pierced through the giant's abdomen. Ugh! Blood spurted from the giant's mouth as he collapsed. Another giant stepped forward, but what greeted him was a roaring azure dragon. The terrifying breath of the dragon descended upon him. Opera roared furiously, "Get out of the way! Don't block my big brother's path!" At that moment, the 5 Opera brothers were like wild beasts wreaking havoc on the battlefield, driving back the giants. Even though there were over 1,000 giants, none of them weaklings, they were utterly defeated by the Opera brothers. Roar. Hiss. The enormous azure dragon coiled in the sky, and the 8-headed serpent roared toward the heavens. Tap. 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 The only sound that echoed back was Joey's calm and measured footsteps. Throughout the journey, Joey encountered no resistance. Every obstacle was swiftly dealt with by the Opera brothers. By the time Joey stood before Elder Jarl, all the giants lay defeated. Huff huff. Though the 5 brothers were bloodied, gasping for air, and struggling to remain upright, they had achieved victory. With the strength of just 5, they had repelled over 1,000 giant warriors. Joey smiled at Elder Jarl and said, "Elder Jarl, will you now listen to what I have to say?" Elder Jarl's expression was dark, his eyes fixed on Joey and then on the 5 young men who were barely standing. Their blood dripped uncontrollably onto the ground, yet the sheer intensity of their fighting spirit instilled fear even in the battle-hardened giants. Sigh. Elder Jarl exhaled deeply and sat cross-legged. This simple action signified his surrender. Giants respected strength, and the Opera brothers had earned their respect through sheer power. Even though they were the sons of Charlotte Linlin, the giants couldn't deny their triumph. Raising his cup of wine high, Jarl declared, "To the 5 brave warriors, this drink is well-deserved." He downed the wine in one go, then looked at Joey with a frown. "Charlotte Joey. I dislike you. There's something about your eyes, they show no emotion, as if everything unfolds exactly as you've planned. People like you are infuriating." Joey chuckled softly. "Whether you like or dislike me doesn't matter to me, Elder Jarl. Now, shall we discuss the deal?" Jarl replied, "Very well. Tell me what you want." Truthfully, Jarl was curious about Joey's intentions. The enmity between the Charlotte family and the giants ran deep, making any negotiations between the two sides extremely difficult. Stretching out a single finger, Joey stated, "The current leaders of the giant warrior pirates, Dory and Brogy, have gone missing. I can bring them back to you, but in exchange, I want 5,000 giants." "Impossible." Jarl rejected the offer without hesitation. Selling out the giants was unthinkable. Joey shook his head. "Don't be so quick to refuse, Elder Jarl. It's true that the feud between the Charlotte family and the giants stems from Elder Jarl, but there are no eternal enemies, only eternal interests. If I'm not mistaken, the absence of Dory and Brogy has left the giants in a precarious position. Until Prince Loki matures." Joey's calm voice made Jarl's face darken. The truth was undeniable. Both Jarl and Jorl were old. Even though giants lived 3 times as long as humans, Jarl was nearing 400 years of age, and Jorl had already died at 344. In human terms, they were over 100 years old. If it weren't for their advanced age weakening their strength, even a monstrous 5-year-old Charlotte Linlin couldn't have defeated them. Though the giants appeared strong, they were hollow inside. The older generation was nearing its end, and the younger generation, including Loki, had yet to grow. As for Dory and Brogy, who should have been the pillars of their race, they were missing. Understanding the giant's difficulty, Joey was confident Jarl wouldn't refuse his offer. Smiling, Joey said, "Elder Jarl, consider this carefully. If word gets out about the giants' current state, what will become of their reputation as the world's strongest nation? That piece of bread will certainly attract many hungry mouths." Despite the smile on Joey's face, his words carried a chilling weight. Jarl's fiery temper flared as he stood up, seething with rage. "You bastard! Are you threatening me?" Joey shook his head. "Elder Jarl, this is not a threat, merely a suggestion. Refusing me won't lead to anything good." "I agree." Glaring at Joey's composed smile, Jarl ultimately gave in. Joey wagged his finger. "Now, the deal has been upgraded to 10,000 giants. 3 months from now, I'll bring back Dory and Brogy. In return, prepare 10,000 giants for me." Chapter 30, Protein Fruit. Joey left with his younger siblings. As for Jarl, he remained silent. His entire demeanor was somber, muttering to himself, "A demon. A demon. That man is a terrifying demon. Damn it." As these thoughts consumed him, Jarl shivered uncontrollably. For the first time, fear gripped him. He who had survived over 300 years of trials, unafraid of even the most powerful elders of the giant tribe. Yet now, he was terrified of Joey's mind. However, Joey didn't care at all about Jarl's thoughts. Aboard the ship, Big Bro Joey. "Are you hurt?" Custard, Angel, Brulee, and Broey were all bustling around. Opera. Counter. Cadenza. Cabaletta. Gala. The 5 brothers looked at each other, wanting to shout that they were the ones who fought. "Aren't our injuries clear?" "Hee hee. We were just kidding." The 4 sisters then began tending to their 5 brothers, carefully treating their injuries and wrapping them in bandages. Every one of them was tense with worry. Meanwhile, Joey sat cross-legged before his wounded brothers, looking at them calmly. He asked softly, "How are you all feeling?" "Og." Opera's face twisted in pain, but he forced a smile that looked more like a grimace. Laughing heartily, he said, "Big brother. No problem at all, none whatsoever. You all." Joey sighed helplessly. "Rest well. Fights like these are beneficial for you. The Una tribe's bodies are unique, they grow stronger through battle. I'll find suitable devil fruits for everyone. Next wheel, BRBR." Before Joey could finish, the family emblem suddenly emitted a ringtone. To make things easier, Joey had modified the emblem's notification sound to mimic a den mushi. Answering the call, Joey said directly, "Prospero, what's the matter?" Prospero's voice came through, "Big brother. We've located the devil fruit on Phoenix Island. Our family members have secretly taken control of the island and are currently searching for it. Joey smiled and replied, understood. Take it easy and don't overexert yourselves. Prospero assured him, big brother, don't worry. The call ended, and Joey chuckled lightly. Well, it seems we've also found Gala's devil fruit. Now all that's left is Cabaletta's. Be patient. Cabaletta shook his head. Big brother, I'm not worried. If you say you'll find a devil fruit for me, then I know you will. Ha 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 ha. Joey laughed. You little brats, get some rest. This fight wasn't a setback for you, it was an opportunity. Reflect on the experience, understand your weaknesses. That's what truly matters. For the Una tribe, every battle is a stepping stone to greater strength. The 5 brothers obediently nodded. Joey stood and returned to the cabin. Broly followed, peeking around the doorway before quietly asking, Big brother, can I study with you? Joey smiled. If you like studying, then come in. You can learn whatever you want. Alright. Broly ran in happily, sitting right beside Joey and hugging him. Curiously, she asked, Big brother, why did Jarl refuse when we first asked for 5,000 giants, but later agree when we demanded 10,000? Joey patiently explained, it's quite simple. At first, Jarl was unwilling to accept reality. But once I laid out the threats and benefits, he had no choice but to comply because I somewhat hold the giant tribe's fate in my hands. I see. Broly nodded in understanding. Joey observed her thoughtful expression. With her cherry pink hair, Broly was a sharp and clever girl. She had a princess-like demeanor, complete with a bit of a spoiled attitude. But for Joey, that wasn't a problem. Compared to Broly had an even greater gift, not in innate ability, but in her intelligence and resourcefulness. Her sharp mind made her talents stand out. After a moment's thought, Joey suddenly said, Broly, do you want to eat this devil fruit? As he spoke, he retrieved a devil fruit from the family emblem. The family emblem, which Joey had upgraded with achievement points, now had additional functions beyond remote communication and identification. It also had spatial storage capabilities, with an internal space of 20 cubic meters. While not massive, it was more than enough for practical use. Ah! Broly froze in shock. For a moment, her small body trembled with excitement. Joey treated his siblings equally, doting on them in daily life, strict during studies, and serious when teaching. However, he only gave devil fruits to those siblings who were truly suited for them. Many of his brothers and sisters didn't have devil fruits, not because they couldn't eat them or due to a lack of availability, but because Joey carefully considered whether they could stand on their own. If his siblings couldn't become independent, it was fine for them to remain at home and work in administrative roles. There was no need to push them into the spotlight. But now, Joey was offering a devil fruit to Broly. There was no need to guess what this meant. Excitedly, Broly nodded repeatedly. I want it. I want it. Big brother, I want it. Hey, Joey gently patted her head. You excitable child. This devil fruit is a Parimsha type, the protein fruit, belonging to the category of food-based fruits. Chapter 31, Bird Fruit, Model, Phoenix. This. Broly gazed at Joey with adoration. Suddenly, Broly leapt into Joey's arms, smiling brightly. Big brother. You're the best. The absolute best. Joey's eyes were filled with warmth as he gently stroked Broly's hair. The Food Fruit series. Katakuri's Mochi no Mi. Crackers Bisu no Mi. And now, the Lick fruit, Milk fruit, and Booze fruit collected by Joey. These fruits belong to the Food Fruit series. While Joey traded lower-tier devil fruits, he specifically gathered high-tier ones. With such treasures in his possession, Joey planned carefully for the future. After all, the Charlotte family, or perhaps the kingdom of Totland, would require ministers to govern it. For those crucial positions, family members would naturally be the most suitable candidates. Anyone consuming one of the food fruits would be marked as a minister in the making. Joey spoke gently, alright, little one. Eat the devil fruit. Just a heads up, it doesn't taste good. Okay. Broly stared at the pale white fruit in her hands, swallowing nervously. Then, with a determined gulp, she bit into the devil fruit. Its taste was so awful it brought tears to her eyes, yet she refused to spit out even a tiny piece. Joey, a bit exasperated, wiped her tears and said, you only need one bite of a devil fruit, you know. There's no need to eat the whole thing. But Broly shook her head firmly. No way. Big brother trusts me so much, I have to show my resolve. Alright. Joey nodded approvingly, a smile on his face. That's the spirit. You're a brave little one. Since you excel in swordsmanship, this fine blade is yours now, quick blade, drizzle. Broly gleefully took the massive blade, nearly 4 meters long, her joy uncontainable. Standing up, she exclaimed, "Big brother. I'll be off now." Joey nodded. "Go ahead. Take your time getting familiar with your devil fruit's abilities and practice with Drizzle. It's a very light blade, perfect for quick strikes. Master it well." "Got it." Broly happily embraced the enormous Drizzle and left with a spring in her step. Watching her go, Joey mused with a sigh, what a spirited little girl. Afterward, he returned to his studies. There was always something new to learn, an endless ocean of knowledge and information. The ship sailed swiftly. From the village of Elbaf, it took only 3 days to reach Phoenix Island. Clack. Clack. As Joey disembarked, he glanced at Opera and the others who wished to follow him. "Opera, your encounter's injuries have healed. Focus on taking care of the 3 younger brothers. Stay here. Phoenix Island has 100 family force members stationed, so there's no need to worry." Opera thumped his chest confidently. "Big brother. Don't worry. I'll protect my younger siblings with my life." Joey nodded and stepped off the ship. A nearby Mafia member quickly approached, bowing respectfully. "Young master, we've received reports about the Torai Nomi, mythical zone, Phoenix form, as per your orders. We're continuing the search." Joey asked calmly, "Are the reports reliable?" The Mafia member replied, "The information seems accurate, and, young master." Before he could finish, another Mafia member rushed over, excitement clear in his voice. "Young master. The Torai Nomi, mythical zone, Phoenix form, has been found." "Oh?" Joey's interest was piqued. "Very well. Bring it here." The Mafia member handed over the Phoenix fruit, and Joey carefully examined it. Moments later, having memorized the entire Devil Fruit encyclopedia since childhood, Joey confirmed its authenticity. "Excellent. Head back to Totland and collect a 10 million Bailey as a reward from Perispero." Joey smiled in satisfaction as he looked at the gathered Mafia members. "Thank you, young master." There were 100 Mafia members present, each receiving 10 million Bailey. Altogether, Joey would be spending 1 billion Bailey. Fortunately, over the past 10 years, Joey had amassed great wealth. Without it, such generosity wouldn't have been possible. But spending 1 billion for a mythical zone fruit, and strengthening loyalty in the process, was well worth it. The 2,000-member Mafia under Joey's command was an elite force. Yet Joey knew the truth, no matter how loyal or capable, non-family members always carried a risk of betrayal. Maintaining their loyalty required both rewards and discipline. It was a delicate balance between authority and generosity. Only by mastering this balance could he ensure unwavering loyalty. Joey's ambitions extended beyond just family. To build his Totland empire, he needed more than just relatives in his ranks. Back on the ship, Joey casually tossed the Phoenix fruit to Gala. "Gala, this is your devil fruit. Cadenza, your fruit has been located on the Grand Line. We'll head there soon. As for Cabaletta, don't worry. There will be news of your fruit in the future." Gala received the Phoenix fruit with trembling hands, excitement spilling over. "Thank you, big brother." With that, he bit into it without hesitation. Cadenza scratched his head and said, "Big brother, no rush. Let's focus on more pressing matters first." "Ha ha ha." Cabaletta laughed heartily. "Big brother, even without a devil fruit, I'll become stronger. I'll never let you down." Joey smiled warmly. "Good." Suddenly, whoosh! Blue flames erupted as Gala transformed into a phoenix and soared into the sky. Watching Gala ascend, Joey grinned. The 5 generals of Charlotte family are nearly complete. 3 down, 2 to go. Chapter 32, First rise to fame. From the time Joey set sail from Cake Island, first stop, Elbaf's warrior village. The deal was struck. Second stop, Phoenix Island. The bird fruit, mythical zone type, Phoenix form, was secured. Next up, the third destination awaited. However, while Joey prepared for his journey, elsewhere aboard the ship, the Queen Mama Chanter, Katakuri, Compote, Cracker, and their crew encountered trouble. Or rather, trouble found them. Ha ha ha. When a pirate ship drew near, and a hulking pirate with a massive blade sneered, "Brats. That's quite a fine ship you've got there. Hand it over." And oh, what's this? A group of lovely young ladies? Even snake-necked beauties, no less, such rare treasures. The pirate licked his lips, his excitement palpable. "Give them up, too, and I might just let you live." Cracker's fury ignited. But before he could act, an overwhelming pressure burst forth from Katakuri. Katakuri, Cracker, Compote, Mundi, Amand, Hashi, and Defili. 7 members of the Charlotte family had embarked on this voyage. For the Charlotte family, protecting their own was a sacred duty. Under Joey's guidance, however, Katakuri had developed an almost pathological sense of the family pride. Dare to bully his family? Unforgivable. Dare to insult them? Intolerable. Even a single slight was grounds for death. This was Katakuri's creed. Crackle. Snap. A dark purple aura erupted around him, a manifestation of his mastery over Conqueror's haki. Katakuri's crimson eyes burned with rage. He growled, "You dared insult my family? You bastards deserve to die." Whoosh. With a step, Katakuri jumped into the air. His arm transformed into Machi, pulling his trident, Mogura, from his wrist. Ha ha ha, the pirate laughed, unbothered. "A brat like you? What gives you this arrogance? Is it that devil fruit power of yours? Let me tell you, my bounty is Machi thrust." Katakuri's arm spun like a drill, wrapping Mogura in Machi as it rotated at high speed. Shake. In an instant, the spinning attack pierced through the pirate's skull. Drip, drip. Blood dripped from Mogura as Katakuri landed on one knee, his expression cold. Standing, he flicked the trident clean and declared, "Every single one of you will die. Willow Machi." Without pausing, Katakuri leapt into the air, his leg morphing into tendrils of Machi. Coated with armament haki, they crashed down from above. Boom. The pirate ship was obliterated in a single, devastating blow. Help. No. Please, no. What kind of monster is this? In mere moments, Katakuri's overwhelming strength annihilated the pirates and their ship. Humphrey. Back aboard the Queen Chanter, Katakuri ordered coldly, "Recover all their treasure." "Yes, Lord Katakuri." The crew began salvaging the spoils. Though the Charlotte family had only 2,000 elite fighters, Joey had expanded their forces over the past decade to include tens of thousands of ordinary personnel. Most of these lacked significant combat power and handled logistical tasks. For this voyage, 500 crew members accompanied the 7 siblings to manage various operations. Soon, the treasure was recovered. Katakuri waved his hand and commanded, "Continue. We've had no word from Mom yet, so there's no rush to head to God Valley." "Yes, sir." Under Katakuri's orders, the Queen Chanter resumed its course toward their next destination. Initially, Katakuri had planned to meet with his mother. But after reconsideration, he realized joining the Rocks Pirates Way held little value for him. Instead, the vast ocean offered opportunities to hone his skills. With countless pirates to hunt, they could train, amass wealth, and perhaps even seize valuable devil fruits. It was a plan with no downsides. Thus, Katakuri and his 6 siblings, flying the banner of the Big Mom Pirates aboard the Queen Chanter, began their journey. Mighty Machi's Spear. Slow Ballad / Biscuit Warriors. Katakuri, Amand, Cracker, and Compote swiftly built their reputations. Mundi, Hashi, and Defili did the same. In just 2 short weeks, the 7 siblings had made their mark on the new world. Young Tsuru, holding a fresh bounty notice, remarked, as expected of Charlotte Linland's children. "In just half a month, they've destroyed 18 pirate crews." The young Zephyr nodded. Those 18 crews weren't the strongest, but they weren't weaklings either. To survive in the new world requires strength, and these 7 brats are clearly formidable. Garp, ever casual, laughed. "Why worry about brats? Just slap bounties on their heads and let trouble find them. This woman's kids are bound to attract plenty of heat." "No, we can't," interjected Sengoku, stepping in with a sharp gaze. "Charlotte Joey, head of the Charlotte family, runs a vast business empire. Publicly, he's never engaged in piracy. If we issue bounties on him or his family, the Navy will face tremendous backlash. Many nations will pressure us to back down." "TSK, what a pain." Garp grumbled, then left. Sengoku, Zephyr, and Tsuru shook their heads at his pranks. Of course, they were the famous future Navy Fleet Admiral, Navy Hero, Chief Instructor, and Chief Strategist, and at this point, they were nearly 30 years old as Vice Admirals at the start of their legendary careers. Chapter 33, Kingdom of Dressrosa. Charlotte Katakuri, Bounty, 1,089,000,000 Baileys. Charlotte Cracker, Bounty, 980 million Baileys. Charlotte Compote, Bounty, 865 million Baileys. Charlotte Amand, Bounty, 760 million Baileys. Charlotte Mond, Bounty, 670 million Baileys. Charlotte Hashi, Bounty, 660 million Baileys. Charlotte Ethely, Bounty, 650 million Baileys. A soft chuckle escaped Joey's lips as he examined the freshly printed bounty posters in his hands. Opera, standing nearby, couldn't help but exclaim, "It's only been half a month, and they got such high bounties. And Katakuri's bounty has already surpassed 1 billion. That's incredible, isn't it?" The amazement was shared among Opera and his 4 brothers, but Joey's calm tone interrupted their awe. "Opera, you and your brothers must never get carried away like this. Remember, while Katakuri and the others can act openly, your role is different. You must remain in the shadows for now. Understand?" Opera straightened, nodding solemnly. Understood, big brother. You've always told us, a family must have those who handle the spotlight and those who manage the unseen. Joey nodded approvingly. Good. As long as you remember. Of course, this will be changed in the future when we all can do whatever we want. But for now we need that balance. The balance of light and shadow was critical to Joey's strategy. Until their family reached an unshakable level of power, this dynamic would remain essential. His spotless public image was fiercely guarded, and those in the shadows swiftly erased any flaw, Linlin, and Katakuri, foremost among them. It was a matter of life and death for anyone who dared tarnish the Charlotte family reputation. Placing the bounty posters aside, Joey shifted his attention. Opera, counter, gala, how are you progressing with mastering your devil fruit powers? Although he addressed all three, his gaze lingered on opera and gala. Counter, after all, had already consumed the mythical zone, Yamata no Orochi fruit, demonstrating exceptional potential. He already reached a high point of mastering the devil fruit. Still, Joey was under no illusions. While the brothers had once overwhelmed over 1,000 giants in a remarkable feat, the victory carried significant caveats. The truth was, Joey's conqueror's haki had suppressed the giants throughout the battle, reducing their combat capabilities to nearly half their true potential. Additionally, the Ana clan's innate resilience, combined with opera and counter's mythical zone abilities and Wano crafted weapons and armor, had been crucial to their success. Even then, the giants had fought with restraint, aware they could not afford an all-out clash. This complex mix of factors led to their victory, and Joey had repeatedly warned his brothers not to grow arrogant. The battle was meant to instill confidence, not complacency. Misplaced pride could only weaken them. Hey! Gale admitted with a sheepish laugh, scratching his head. Big brother, my control's still unstable, but I'll get it down soon. Opera chimed in, his expression resolute. Don't worry, big brother. We know exactly how much of that battle was thanks to you. We won't let it make us overconfident. Joey's warm smile returned. Good. As long as you know. Remember, even a lion goes all out when hunting a rabbit. Never let pride or arrogance become your weakness. Understood? Understood. The five brothers responded in unison, their resolve evident. Satisfied, Joey waved them off. Get some rest. We'll be reaching our next destination soon. Once we're done there, it'll be time to move on. As his brothers left to recuperate, Joey turned back to his plans, carefully reviewing his objectives. Their first stop was Elbaf, the land of the giants. His mission there was complete. Out of the roughly 300,000 giants alive, he had taken control of 10,000. For the giants, this was a massive blow. They had been forced to concede, knowing the alternative would bring even greater devastation. Marking the Elbaf mission as complete in his journal, Joey mused aloud. The second stop, Phoenix Island, was unexpected, but obtaining the phoenix fruit was certainly worthwhile. Now, the third destination, Dressrosa. He leaned back, considering the kingdom. Dressrosa was a nation with deep ties to the celestial dragons, ensuring its consistent status as one of the 50 ruling nations in the world government. These privileged nations, though technically rotational, included certain states like Dressrosa and Alabasta, whose power and history guaranteed their seats. Joey scribbled further notes in his journal. Dressrosa itself is supported by 11 smaller nations. Gaining its favor would mean securing the support of all 12, effectively ensuring 25 nations' allegiance, half of the necessary votes. With a decisive motion, Joey placed his pen down and massaged his temples. Apart from Dressrosa, there was also the Tonata Kingdom, a land ruled by the small yet fiercely independent Tontatas, also referred to as dwarves in this world, though distinct from the dwarves Joey had acquired through his system. Lastly, there was the current ruler of Dressrosa, King Rikudolto I. Joey smiled faintly, confident in his ability to sway the honorable monarch. The real challenge, however, lay in bringing the Tontata under his fold. This was no ordinary task, but Joey thrived on complexities. Chapter 34, The Tontatas. The Kingdom of Dressrosa. One of the most powerful nations is located in the New World. In ancient times, the Don Quixote family ruled Dressrosa as its royal family. As one of the 20 founding monarchs of the world government, they had joined forces to create the organization. From that point onward, the Don Quixote family ascended to the status of celestial dragons, and the Rica family replaced them as the royal rulers of Dressrosa. From then until now, the Rica family has been the steadfast rulers of this prosperous kingdom. Dressrosa has always enjoyed a reputation of being untouchable, even by pirates, due to its status as a member nation of the world government, more so as one of its decision-making nations. Its tropical charm and unique culture have earned it the nickname, the land of love, passion, and fairies. However, not everything is as idyllic as it seems. 200 years ago, an event changed everything, the disappearance of the Tontatas. In truth, the Tontatas hadn't vanished. They retreated to the island of Green Bit, north of Dressrosa, where they lived in peace. The connection between Dressrosa and Greenbit was severed due to the surrounding waters becoming infested with ferocious fighting fish, effectively cutting the two off from one another. Since then, the relationship between Dressrosa and the Tontatas has gradually faded into a distant memory. On Greenbit, a lush and untamed island resembling a primeval forest, the Tontatas built their underground kingdom, the Tonata Kingdom. Over centuries, their population grew to tens of thousands. Like many other non-human races, Tontatas were few in number compared to humans. Only the Fishman, Longa-Urn tribe, and Long-Leg tribe stood out as having significant populations. Even the mighty giants, hailed as the world's strongest race, were not numerous. This scarcity underscored a grim reality for many such races. Suddenly, the tranquil peace of Greenbit was shattered. Roar! A terrifying, guttural roar echoed through the forest as a well-equipped army of undead, a full force of 10,000 skeleton soldiers, stormed the island. What's happening? What are those things? The Tontatas, who had been joyfully tending to their plants, were thrown into a panic. The invading force included skeleton warriors, archers, knights, and generals. While it lacked higher-tier units like bone dragons or lich kings, the sheer numbers were enough to wreak havoc. This skeletal army was a purchased unit, a mere 100 family coins in value, designed as low-grade cannon fodder. Though inexpensive and weak by certain standards, against the Tontatas, they were a formidable threat. Roar! With savage roars, the skeletons began their assault, unleashing a wave of slaughter upon the unsuspecting Tontatas. In the chaos, King Gangcho of the Tonata Kingdom stepped forward, his youthful face filled with disbelief. "What is this?" he muttered, trembling. "Is this the wrath of death itself? Have we done something to anger the gods?" But even as fear gripped him, Gangcho clenched his fists and shouted with determination, "No. These are not gods. They are enemies. Rally yourselves. Protect our families and fight back." At his command, the Tontatas mustered their courage, organizing into a defensive force. Despite their diminutive size, Tontatas possessed exceptional speed and strength, far exceeding those of ordinary humans. Their counterattack began, and the skeletal soldiers, though initially imposing, began to crumble under the relentless strikes of the Tontatas. Crack! Crack! Fists smashed into bones, shattering skeleton warriors and even the knights. Only the skeleton generals offered any real resistance. In a matter of minutes, the first wave of the skeletal army had been defeated. Victory! We've won! The Tontatas cheered, their voices echoing through the forest. But was it truly over? Skeletons, by their very nature, are not known for their strength but for their persistence, their ability to rise again and again. Crack! Crack! The broken bones began to reassemble, and the fallen soldiers stood once more, their hollow eyes gleaming with eerie light. Roar! With terrifying cries, the skeletons renewed their assault. A bone sword slashed through an unprepared dwarf, spilling blood. The small warrior fell lifeless to the ground. Gangcho's eyes widened in shock. They're immortal. They can't be killed. How is this possible? He gritted his teeth and shouted desperately, "Send word to the Riku family. The Riku family has always been our ally, they will help us. Go now." The Tontatas had no choice but to seek aid. But was Dressrosa truly unaware of the chaos unfolding on Greenbit? Did King Riku not know of the skeleton army's invasion? Perhaps. Things were far more complicated than they appeared. Chapter 35, Real Heroes Appear in Despair. The chaos unfolding in the Tonata Kingdom. Was King Riku truly unaware? Impossible. How could the ruler of Dressrosa, a kingdom with its surrounding islands under close watch, not notice the sudden emergence of a 10,000-strong army? It was absolutely inconceivable. And yet, within the royal palace, King Riku sat in heavy silence. One minister, standing to his left, bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, King Riku, the Tontata people have sent a request for aid. What course of action shall we take?" Before the king could respond, the minister to his right interjected sharply. "Your Majesty, this is a matter Dressrosa cannot afford to involve itself in. That skeletal army, they are immortal. It is evident their power stems from a devil fruit user of tremendous ability. To engage with such a formidable foe, well, the risks are far too great." The room fell silent. The right minister's words were painfully clear. Anyone with even a fragment of sense could see that this situation was far from simple. To involve Dressrosa would bring potentially disastrous consequences. King Riku, his expression helpless, nodded decisively. "Dressrosa has not maintained a formal alliance with the Tonata Kingdom for over 200 years. Inform them, we cannot provide assistance." "Understood." Both ministers bowed and left the room, their footsteps echoing as they departed. It was not a decision made lightly. King Riku's choice, though heartless, was the most pragmatic one. The skeletal army's immortality, combined with the unknown strength of their commanding force, was not a risk Dressrosa could afford to take. Moreover, while King Rico was a benevolent ruler who genuinely cared for his people, he was also a shrewd politician. As history had shown, he could be cautious and calculating. When the odds seemed insurmountable, he hesitated to act. Yet, when hope aligned with opportunity, such as Luffy's arrival, he fully committed to the cause. A pure politician. For someone like Joey to manipulate such a man would be easy. But to secure his unwavering loyalty? That was an entirely different matter. After all, Joey wasn't just a Charlotte family leader, he was also behind the Big Mom pirates, an infamous and deadly force of the seas. What? They refused? No. This cannot be. The Tonata emissary, trembling with disbelief, stared helplessly as the palace guard stood resolute. Alas, there was no response from the soldiers, their silence unwavering. They were bound to their orders. Even if their hearts ached to help, as soldiers, they could not defy their king's decree. Ah! Help us. Please, don't let this happen. The emissaries' cries were drowned out by the faint echoes of despair. The anguished screams of the Tonata echoed from afar. The sounds of bodies torn asunder reverberated in the ears of the pleading emissary. Years of friendship, loyalty, and alliance, all cast aside in an instant. At this moment, the emissary's heart was torn in ways he could hardly understand. For the Tonata, a species defined by their pure and innocent nature, hatred was an alien emotion. Yet now, for the first time, a flicker of hatred was born within them. Back on the battlefield, the shrill cries of the Tonata rang out ceaselessly. No. Please stop. The despair in their voices resonated as the skeletal army continued their relentless slaughter. Meanwhile, the guards stationed at the bridge leading to Dressrosa turned their backs to the chaos. Their orders were clear. The Tonata were not to enter Dressrosa. If the Tonata Kingdom fell, their task was simple: sever the bridge to prevent the skeletal army from advancing. After all, even if the skeletal soldiers were formidable, crossing the sea unaided was an impossible task for them. What King Rico failed to see, however, was the truth: the skeletal army, for all their mortality, were weak in battle. Clink. 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 The sound of waves lapping against wood reached the ears of the struggling Tonata. A ship approached the island, its silhouette growing ever larger. Standing at the helm was Joey. With a faint smile, he observed the scene below, feigning surprise. I came here to visit King Rico, Joey said warmly. But I didn't expect to stumble upon such chaos. Little one, can you tell me what's happening? His gentle smile radiated calm, and his voice carried a soothing tone. But who could have guessed? All of this was unfolding precisely as Joey had planned. This man controlled everything. Every step, every tragedy, every desperate cry for help, it was all his doing. To Joey, the means were irrelevant as long as the end was achieved. For Joey, aside from his family, everyone else was nothing more than a disposable tool, a resource to be used and discarded when convenient. Treachery is the passport of the despicable. Honor is the epitaph of the noble. This philosophy resonated deeply within him. To Joey, morality was nothing more than a facade. What mattered was the success of his family's ambitions. The Tonata emissary, consumed by grief and rage, looked up at Joey. Who are you? Despite his anger, the Tonata emissary spoke politely, a testament to their gentle nature. Joey chuckled softly. I am the leader of the Charlotte family. I had hoped to negotiate with King Rico, but I stumbled upon this tragedy instead. Tell me, what's going on? The Tonata emissary hesitated, but Joey's kind demeanor disarmed him. In a rush, he explained, it's the skeletal army. An unstoppable, unkillable skeletal army has invaded our kingdom. My home, my people, they're all going to die. Joey sighed deeply, feigning sadness. What a pitiful sight. Very well, I'll lend you a hand. Really? You mean it? The emissary's eyes widened, filled with hope for the first time in what felt like an eternity. At that moment, he gazed upon Joey with reverence, as though looking at a true hero. And indeed, history has proven time and again, no matter how old or cliched, the hero saves the day act never fails. Besides, real heroes always appear in despair. Chapter 36, Tonata Kingdom joins in roar. Hiss. Squawk. The Azure Dragon roared, the Yamato no Orochi surged, and the Phoenix raced forward. It was a slaughter, as brutal as a tiger rampaging through a wolf pack. From beginning to end. Opera, counter, and gala acted without restraint, their actions pure annihilation. The skeletal army, controlled deliberately by Joey, became nothing more than fodder. The three brothers used the mythical zone to its fullest. They were on completely different levels. Even the once immortal skeletal army ceased its resurrection. Have we been saved? What was that just now? Was it aid from Dressrosa? The Tonata tribe, battered and devastated, had lost hundreds of their people in just a few hours. The skeletal army, resurrecting time and again, had slaughtered countless Tonata warriors who fought desperately to defend their home. Now, the survivors bore heavy wounds, yet survival itself was enough. Gencho, Tonata chief murmured, "What exactly happened here?" "Your Majesty." The remaining Tonata scurried over, hurried and breathless. Gencho urgently asked, "Grabar, what exactly happened?" "That's right. This Tonata Grabar was none other than the grandmother of Leo, the future commander of the Tonata Corps." Grabar replied hastily, "Your Majesty, I went to seek help from the kingdom of Dressrosa, but they outright refused. In the end, there was a traveler who passed, agreed to help us. Those warriors are his brothers." Gencho fell silent at Grabar's words. Dressrosa wouldn't help. They betrayed them. Centuries of friendship, and yet they wouldn't even lift a finger in aid? The naive and pure-hearted Gencho finally understood how fragile and insignificant friendship could be in the face of danger. Shaking his head, Gencho quickly said, "Take me to meet this Lord Traveler." "This way. This way." Grabar hurriedly led him. Meanwhile, with Opera and his brothers at work, clearing out the skeletal army was hardly worth mentioning, everything was handled with ease. Gencho and Grabar soon arrived at Joey's ship. The vessel slowly came to a stop, and Joey leapt gracefully onto Green Bit Island. After all, Green Bit Island lacked a proper port, docking directly was impossible. Gencho rushed over, bowing respectfully despite his younger age. "Lord Traveler, thank you for saving us." "Ha ha ha," Joey chuckled warmly, "it's nothing. It wasn't a big deal. Helping such adorable Tonata is a joy." "Eh?" Gencho and Grabar both blushed, laughing awkwardly, their bashful demeanor revealing the innocence of their tribe. Moreover, Joey's smile, radiant as the sun, seemed to shine directly into their hearts. At this moment, Joey asked curiously, "What are your names? And what exactly happened here?" Regaining his composure, Gencho introduced himself. "I am Gencho, king of the Tonata Kingdom. And I am Grabar, commander of the Tonata Kingdom's warriors." Grabar added. Gencho continued, "As for what happened, I'm not entirely sure myself. It was a peaceful day when suddenly this skeletal army appeared. Not only could they not be killed, but they also started slaughtering our people. We even sought help from Dressrosa, but they refused." As he spoke, Gencho and Grabar fell silent again. Both of them were overwhelmed with sorrow. What they had thought was a bond forged over centuries turned out to mean nothing in times of peril. Joey nodded in understanding. "I see. I'm Charlotte Joey, the head of the Charlotte family. I originally came to Dressrosa for trade negotiations. Who would have thought such an incident would occur?" Without hesitation, Joey continued, "The skeletal army was created by a devil fruit user. With sufficient power, they're easy to destroy. But with your Tonata tribe's limited strength, what will you do in the future? Next time, I won't be here to save you." Gencho and Grabar both fell silent again. This land had been their home for generations, and now it faced relentless threats. What could they do? Should they leave? Shaking her head, Grabar said, "We don't know. Our ancestors have lived here for centuries. Leaving suddenly." Her voice trailed off as she shook her head again. Gencho, on the other hand, bowed respectfully. "Lord Joey, thank you for saving us. You've rescued the entire Tonata tribe. Would you honor us with a visit to our kingdom?" Joey smiled gently, "Of course. Once I dock my ship at Dressrosa, I'll gladly pay you a visit." Hearing this, Gencho opened his mouth as if to say something but hesitated. The Tonata tribe's innocence and kindness rendered him unable to speak further. At that moment, Grabar spoke first. "Lord Joey, I'm sorry to intrude, but may I ask, what kind of trade are you seeking?" "I'm sorry. Please forgive us for overstepping, Lord Joey." Gencho anxiously apologized. "Ha ha ha," Joey chuckled softly, "It's fine. It's no big deal. The Charlotte family is planning to establish a nation, a country where all races can live together in harmony. It will be called Totland. I've already gained the support of the giants. And Anna. I came here to negotiate with King Riku of Dressrosa for assistance in founding this nation." "A nation? Totland?" Gencho and Grabar's eyes lit up with longing. A country where all races could coexist. How joyful such a place could be. Although Gencho was a king, his Tonata innocence led him to exclaim without hesitation, "Lord Joey, could our Tonata tribe join Totland?" Joey's smile remained warm. "Of course. Totland welcomes all races. The Tonata Kingdom can become a vassal state of Totland, living in the same land peacefully." At that moment, in Gencho and Grabar's eyes, Joey's presence was like sunlight, warming their hearts and filling them with hope. Chapter 37, Gene Fruit Splash. The waves gently lapped as Joey's ship slowly docked. With a warm smile, Joey said, King Riku, I really troubled you for personally coming to greet me. Still, I truly appreciate it. Although his words carried humility, his demeanor radiated an undeniable pride, one that seemed to proclaim his worthiness of such a welcome. King Riku, however, was unfazed, responding with a genuine smile, Lord Joey, your arrival is a great honor. I simply must welcome you personally. Please, follow me. I've prepared a banquet for you at the King's Plateau. Joey chuckled lightly, you are far too kind, King Riku. Leading the way, King Riku guided Joey, followed by Opera and Counter. This time, Joey's 4 younger sisters had chosen not to accompany him. They understood well that Joey was here on important business, not for leisure. Joey had let the other 3 brothers stay with them to protect their safety. Besides, Broey had duties of her own. Despite being only 5 years old, she bore the responsibility that came with her food-type devil fruit. Joey had entrusted her with overseeing the arrangements for the Tonata Kingdom. In truth, Broey didn't need to handle much herself, contacting Prospero was enough. He would ensure the subsequent matters were properly managed. At the royal plateau, the banquet was already prepared. Once seated, King Riku raised his glass with a respectful smile. The Charlotte leader, Mr. Joey, a toast to you. Joey stood, matching the gesture. Thank you, King Riku. They drained their glasses in one go. In reality, Joey's endeavors over the past decade were far from limited to small-scale ventures. As the head of the Charlotte family, he had access to unique resources, including rare goods from other worlds. One such example was a type of fruit that, while ordinary to his family, could double the physical strength of an average person when consumed. While this enhancement was negligible to the powerful, for nations and their soldiers, these fruits were akin to miraculous elixirs. Priced at just a single family coin for 10,000 gene fruits, they were inexpensive commodities for Joey. Through careful planning, Joey had built an intricate web of trade over the past decade, connecting nearly 50 nations across the Grand Line and the New World. Some were world government affiliates, while others were independent. This trade network granted the Charlotte family immense influence and also served as a shield. Joey's growing reputation was so formidable that even the current fleet admiral of the Marines refrained from placing bounties on anyone except Katakuri and 6 others who had openly declared themselves as pirates. Unless Joey openly declared himself a pirate, targeting him or his family was an unwise move. With both strength and political power consolidated, Joey was now ready to act. Clink. As they set their glasses down, King Riku studied Joey carefully before asking, Clan leader Joey, what brings you to Dressrosa this time? Joey smiled warmly, though his words carried weight. Naturally, it's to propose a trade. You're well aware of the power of our gene fruits. I'm willing to offer them to you at half the usual price, and I will prioritize our transactions with your kingdom. King Riku's brows furrowed as his expression turned serious. This was an astonishing proposal. The revenue Joey generated from gene fruit sales easily reached tens of billions of Baileys annually. Offering them at such a discount was beyond generous, it was suspicious. But the benefits of the gene fruits couldn't be ignored. Soldiers enhanced by these fruits would become a formidable force, and even a pacifist king like Riku couldn't overlook their strategic potential. After all, the Riku royal family hadn't always ruled Dressrosa. Without elite troops, their position was precarious. After a long silence, King Riku finally asked, and you want in return? Joey's gentle smile deepened. I knew you wouldn't pass up this deal, King Riku. The terms are simple. 2 years from now, at the next reverie, the Charlotte family will formally establish a nation. I want my country to join the world government, not as a regular member, but as a special one. We will be exempt from the heavenly tribute. This. King Riku's eyes widened in shock. Such a condition was unprecedented. All member nations of the world government were required to pay the heavenly tribute. To gain exemption was akin to achieving the status of a nation under celestial dragon protection. While theoretically possible, as long as over half of the reverie's participating nations agreed, it was an extraordinary demand. Joey's serene voice broke the silence. King Riku, this is a mutually beneficial arrangement. You gain the strength and stability you need, and I secure my position. Surely, you wouldn't refuse? King Riku stared at the man before him, a chill running down his spine. This was no ordinary man, besides he couldn't refuse such benefits. Finally, he nodded stiffly. I accept your proposal. Chapter 38, Fishman Island. The banquet ended amidst music and dancing. The grand hall, illuminated with vibrant lights, was as bright as day. Yet, in the shadow of this joyous scene, King Riku trembled as he watched Joey's departing figure. The left and right ministers approached him cautiously. Your Majesty, is something troubling you? Asked the left minister gently, noticing the king's uneasy expression. King Riku let out a deep sigh and replied, everything. Everything is under that man's control. Joey doesn't just manipulate my thoughts, he holds the entire Tonata tribe in the palm of his hand. He can even do the same thing he did to them to our country in the future. I didn't have the option to refuse from the time he came here. The declaration left both ministers visibly uneasy. The prospect of the Charlotte family founding a nation. The sudden emergence of a skeleton army that they knew who led them. This trade agreement. Everything was interconnected, like a massive iron chain, binding everyone within it. If they agreed, they could survive. If they refused, destruction would be inevitable. That was the harsh reality. Your Majesty. The Right Minister began, this arrangement with the head of the Charlotte family doesn't seem disadvantageous. True, the demands are steep, but shouldn't the world government and the 5 elders be the ones to worry about it, not us? The Left Minister nodded, adding, if you find the terms unsuitable, Your Majesty, couldn't we simply back out after the agreement? Surely, the Charlotte family wouldn't risk a direct attack on Dressrosa. As he spoke, the Left Minister's voice trailed off. The Right Minister's face paled as well. It was then that they both realized something critical. The Charlotte family may have risen to prominence through trade, but they were not mere merchants. Joey, as the family head, commanded a power that could not be overlooked. And the famous Big Mom? She is part of the Rock's pirates and carried a bounty of 1.5 billion belly, a living legend and a pirate through and through. Not to mention Joey's 7 younger pirate siblings. Within half a month of their debut at sea, each of them had earned a bounty of at least 65 million belly, not to mention Katakuri. What kind of family was this? King Riku, shaking his head grimly, explained, now you understand, don't you? When Joey came to me, the deal was already sealed. Refusing it would only spell disaster for Dressrosa. The Charlotte family doesn't just have business acumen, they also have Big Mom's pirate crew as their hidden blade. We have no choice but to comply. The ministers nodded silently, their unease now replaced by grim acceptance. King Riku exhaled deeply, as if trying to expel his worries, and said, though it feels like we've been outmaneuvered, the trade itself is advantageous. Let's consider this an opportunity to make a bold move. Summon the 11 allied kings to join us for a banquet. Yes, Your Majesty. With that, the ministers left to carry out his orders. Left alone, King Riku narrowed his eyes thoughtfully and murmured, Charlotte Joey. If you truly prove your worth and authority, perhaps aligning with you isn't such a bad idea. After all, many covet Dressrosa's position as a decision-making nation with 11 allies. It might be time to choose a stronger protector. Joyland, Totland. Here we come, hand in hand. Sweet and bright, safe and free, home for all, by the sea. As Joey's ship docked at Green Bit, Gangcho, Grabar, and other Tontatas ran up singing joyfully. Joey said with a kind smile. Gangcho, Grabar, have you prepared everything? The relocation arrangements are in place. Grabar nodded enthusiastically. Everything is ready. While this place has been our home, we believe in finding new beginnings. Wherever we go, the Tonata tribe will thrive and create another lush, green homeland, even better than Green Bit. Joey chuckled lightly. That's the spirit. The island waiting for you will suit you perfectly. 5 days passed swiftly by then. Daifuku arrived with a fleet of 20 massive ships, each capable of carrying 3,000 people. Opera. Daifuku. The 2 brothers embraced warmly. Daifuku grinned and asked, where's Big Brother? Opera smiled in return. He's waiting for you. Come on. The 2 entered the ship's cabin, where Joey was seated, reading a book. Daifuku, you're finally here. Joey said, looking up with a calm smile. Big Brother. Daifuku beamed. It's great to see you again. I brought all the ships you requested. Joey nodded approvingly. The Tonata tribe might be small in stature, but their numbers were considerable, over 100,000. With these 20 colossal ships, transporting them was no problem. Joey took a moment to think before giving further orders. Daifuku, once this relocation is complete, tell Prospero to notify Katakuri and inform Mom. In a month and a half, she is to head to Hikinazu, the pirate island, to extract some souls. Daifuku straightened up and replied seriously, understood. Joey continued, 2 months from now, you and Oven are to prepare large ships and meet me at the village of the Elbaf warriors. Got it, Big Brother? Daifuku said confidently, thumping his chest to show his resolve. The relocation began immediately. In just 1 day, the Tonata tribe was fully prepared to leave. With everything settled, Joey once again set sail. Next destination, Fishman Island, the 4th stop on his journey.